All right, welcome to Table Read Tuesdays, and tonight we're reading the script of the classic film, some say the best film ever made, The Wizard of Oz. Um, Clint, was there some you would like to talk about this movie and significance? Or
Yeah, I just researching this movie and watching it again. I mean, it's such a powerful story, and then you like dive into the backstory, and then you hear the life of Judy Garland and everything, and there's so much darkness around the time. Especially that this is a movie that came out of the Great Depression as well, and that it didn't really initially have that big of a following, but the story itself was just so powerful that it captivated the minds of so many people and kind of transcended that. And it's just something that like it's that story that resonates with not really knowing where your place is in the world and having to go on a journey to find it, and the fact that out of all of I mean, there is a lot of dark things that happened. This came during a time, where women were not treated the best, where little people were not treated the best, where, this was a very patriarchal time. And despite all of that, this created something that transcended all of that. And just the fact that this movie itself did join and become part of the LGBT community that helped a lot of people out of that pain and suffering that they felt not being able to, fit into society, and step into their own strength. And not only that, but I mean, there's the reason that this steps up is because it touches everybody who, didn't feel like they fit in, and that, the world was a little bit different. And even going back to it, I mean, even before this, the guy that wrote the story was a longtime supporter of women's voting, wrote a lot of his stories based on, strong female characters going out into the world. Even when he wrote kids' books, it was all about that. So just the underlying story of it is something that has transcended time. Even though it came from a very different time, it's something that's relevant today and will always be relevant to the human struggle. And so thank you guys for stepping in and watching this. This is an awesome thing. Thank you everybody for being here. This is great.
awesome, awesome, thank you. And we're going to do, as we always do, a quick introduction to everybody, and then after we read this and we talk about it more at the end, then we'll let everybody elaborate more of what they're doing and where people can find them. So I'll go around the way it is on the gallery of my screen. So Chance, you're up first this time.
Hi, good to join you again for Wizard of Oz. Story I like very much, watched the movie many times. I just want to mention, since we're all here, before anybody would log off maybe at the end, those of you that have the time, about 2 hours, if you'd like to at some point, go into YouTube and type in The Dark Side of Oz and watch Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, how it correlates to this story. You'll have to listen to the album 3 times to go through the whole 2.5 hour movie, but the coincidences of how the music correlates to the video, or the movie, is awesome. And if you're a Pink Floyd fan, well, you can't miss out on Dark Side of the Moon. You could listen to that 15 times in one night, still not get tired of it, as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, check it out when we're done. It's definitely worth it, and it's pretty cool.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for that suggestion. Next, well, I guess I'm next. I'm Jacob Patrick, and I like writing and reading screenplays and movies and all that jazz. And so next we have Don Lampasone.
I'm Don Lampasone. I also like those things, and I'll be reading some descriptions tonight and some other characters. And I know this film pretty well, and there's multiple versions of it, and I like them all.
Yeah, it's crazy. They made a few films black and white before this. Even Baum himself that wrote the books, tried to make some films, and there was plays and stuff before this one came out, and some afterwards. Next, we have Toni.
Hello, I am Toni Flora. Thank you for allowing me to come in and read on this edition of Table Read Tuesdays. I love Wizard of Oz. It's so fun. Everybody in there is a character, and I love characters. So, yeah, I get to do some narration and a couple of fun little characters. So that's, yeah, awesome. Thanks so much.
That's awesome. Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather Lee Cameron. Tonight I'll be playing Aunt Em and a bunch of beautiful people in the land of Oz. And you know, I do know this story. I love this story. And I'd like to say this story makes me think of Blessed Be the Divergent Minds, because this is a story of a divergent mind. And being a neurodivergent person, this really touches me and speaks to me, and it makes me grateful for the mind that I have, even if not everybody agrees with it. So I'm grateful to be part of this story, and it's such a key role.
Awesome. Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy Hogan, and this is, I don't know, my third or fourth time reading on this. I love The Wizard of Oz. I've watched it innumerable times. I'm going to be voicing a number of the smaller characters parts, including a couple of characters that I really enjoy watching in the film. So I'm going to have some fun with it.
Wonderful. And Vicki.
Hi, I'm Vicki Dykes. I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of The Wizard of Oz. I will be reading Miss Gulch and The Wicked Witch of the West, which I am absolutely thrilled to be reading that character. Thank you for this opportunity and enjoy it.
Thank you. V.
Hello, I'm V, and I'm going to be playing the star of the show, Dorothy Gail. And I actually watched the Wizard of Oz movie yesterday to prepare myself for this and see what I'm going into. And it's a fun movie. It's adventure, and the whole lesson of the movie is there's no place like home. So be thankful for what you have.
That's sweet. That's wonderful. Thank you. And Clint.
Hey, thank you for having me again. This is such an opportunity and a privilege. I just love being here. Sorry for last week, but I'm back again. My name is Clint. I've done this a couple of times. I've started to do some background work and some other voice acting stuff. And today they gave me a couple different fun characters that are going to be super fun. Every time I come here, it's just a lot of fun. There's, you get to read it. You get to see what was going on in the minds of people that wrote it, and then how that became, a great thing. And we're going through, we've done how many classic, amazing movies, and we get to read it and see it and go along with it. So this is so much fun. Again, thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to reading.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Clint. Angelina.
Hello, I'm Angelina Peterson, and it's such a great story, and everyone's talked a little bit about it, but I love adventure, and it's an adventure, and overcoming, and also finding out, I don't want to give anything away, but finding out that everything that you need and you think you want to be is inside of you already. So I think that's an important thing to take away from it.
Right.
Sorry for giving away the ending.
No, you didn't. Similar to what V was saying.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's great. And Jaime.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jaime Hill, and well, today I'm going to play the Munchkins on The Wizard of Oz.
Woohoo!
I've been doing this for a while. I actually asked for the Munchkin because I sound like one. So I'm excited to do this. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Let's have a good night.
We're so excited to have you do that and have all of you play those parts. And it is also, one of my favorite movies too. The pure imagination of going to another world. And with that, let's begin. I believe, Toni, you're reading first?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take it away.
The Wizard of Oz by Noel Langley, Florence Ryerson, and Edgar Allan Woolf. Last revised March 15th, 1939. For nearly 40 years, this story has given faithful service to the young in heart, and time has been powerless to put its kindly philosophy out of fashion. To those of you who have been faithful to it in return, and to the young in heart, we dedicate this picture. Dorothy stoops down to Toto, speaks to him, and then runs down the road, Toto following.
She isn't coming yet, Toto. Did she hurt you? She tried to, didn't she? Come on. We'll go tell Uncle Henry and Auntie Em. Come on, Toto.
Farmyard, Dorothy enters the left along the road, Toto following her. Camera pans right. She comes forward through gate, runs forward to Aunt Em and Uncle Henry working at an incubator.
Aunt Em! Aunt Em!
Aunt Em and Uncle Henry working with the baby chicks in an incubator. Dorothy runs in, speaks to them. Dorothy picks up a baby chick. Camera tucks back as Aunt Em and Dorothy come forward. Aunt Em puts chick in coop with hen, then turns forward as they go towards incubator. Dorothy reacts. Uncle Henry looks at her. Camera pans to her left across the yard.
Aunt Em!
57, 58.
Just listen to what Miss Gulch did to Toto. She...
Dorothy, please, we're trying to count. 58.
Oh, but Aunt Em, she hit him over the...
Don't bother us now, honey. This old incubator's gone bad and we're likely to lose a lot of our chicks.
Oh, the poor little things. Oh, but Aunt Em, Miss Gulch hit Toto right over the back with a rake just because she says he gets in her garden and chases her nasty old cat every day.
70. Dorothy, please.
Oh, but he doesn't do it every day, just once or twice a week. And he can't catch your old cat anyway. And now she says she's going to get the sheriff and...
Dorothy, we're busy.
Oh, all right.
Aunt Em and Uncle Henry taking chicks out of the incubator.
Poor little orphan and her Miss Gulch troubles. Gosh, all hemlock, you know. She ought to have somebody to play with.
I know, but we all got to work out our own problems, Henry.
Yes.
Oh, I hope we got them in time.
Yes.
Zeke, Hunk, and Hickory working on the wagon. Hickory and Zeke lowering bed of wagon into place.
Zeke.
How's she coming?
Take it easy.
Hunk on ground, gets finger caught under wagon bed, reacts.
Ah, you got my finger.
Zeke and Hickory holding wagon bed.
Well, why don't you get your finger out of the way?
Zeke and Hickory put wagon bed in its place. Hunk sitting on ground by wagon. Dorothy enters, comes forward to Zeke. Camera tucks forward on them. They speak. Zeke exits left. Hunk enters, speaks to Dorothy. Hickory exits right. Pan left as Hunk and Dorothy go over by wagon. They speak. Dorothy exits right. Hunk hits his finger with the hammer, whirls around.
Come on, over this way.
Okay.
There you are.
Right on my finger.
It's a lucky thing it wasn't your head.
Zeke, what am I going to do about Mrs. Gulch? Just because Toto chases her old cat?
Listen, honey, I got them hogs to get in.
Now look at Dorothy. You ain't using your head about Miss Gulch. Think you didn't have any brains at all.
I have so got brains.
Well, why don't you use them? When you come home, don't go by Miss Gulch's place. Then Toto won't get in her garden, and you won't get into trouble, see?
Oh, Hunk, you just won't listen, that's all.
Well, your head ain't made of straw, you know.
Interior barn. Hickory working on the wind machine, straightens up, reacts. Dorothy comes forward. Camera tucks forward as Hickory goes to her. He speaks to her, turns motor of wind machine on. They watch it. Oil spurts out onto Hickory's face. He reacts. Dorothy, exit left.
Oh, it feels like my joints are rusted. Listen, Dorothy, don't let Hunk kid you about Mrs. Gulch. She's just a poor, sour-faced old maid that she ain't got no heart left. You know, you should have a little bit more heart yourself. Have pity on her.
Well, gee, I try and have a heart.
Now look, here's something that really has a heart. This is the best invention I ever invented.
This?
Sure, it's to break up winds so we don't have no more dust storms. Can you imagine what it'll mean to this section of the country? I'll show you. Works perfectly now. Here's the principle. You see that fan? That sends up air currents into the sky. These air currents. Oh, stop it.
Oh.
Who did it? Now, wait a minute.
Hickory.
Now what happened? I bet Hunk did that.
Zeke driving pigs into pen. Dorothy enters. and walks along the railing of the pen. Zeke goes to background. Camera tucks forward. Zeke pours feed into the trough.
Hey, get in there before I make them dime out of you. Listen, kid, are you going to let that old Gulch heifer try and buffalo you?
Zeke pouring feed into trough speaks.
She ain't nothing to be afraid of. Have a little courage, that's all.
Dorothy walking along a railing between pig pens.
I'm not afraid of her.
Zeke picks up another bucket of feed, pours it into the trough.
Then the next time she squawks, walk right up to her and spit in her eye. That's what I'd do.
Dorothy on railing, loses her balance, falls into pig pen.
Oh!
Zeke reacts. Camera pans left as he jumps into the pen, takes Dorothy's foot out of the wire, then picks her up. Camera pans right as he carries her out of the pen, puts her down with Hunk and Hickory. Zeke jumps out of the pen, sits down, wipes his brow.
Oh! Oh, Zeke! Help! Help me, Zeke! Get me out of here! Help!
Are you all right, Dorothy?
Yes, I'm all right. Oh, I fell in and Zeke.
Zeke, Dorothy, Hunk, and Hickory, they all look at Zeke. They laugh. Aunt Em enters with a plate of curlers. Camera trucks forward on Hunk. Aunt Em and Hickory, they speak. Hunk and Hickory each take curler, go to the background. Camera pulls back as Aunt Em comes forward to Zeke and Dorothy. She speaks to Zeke. Camera tucks forward as Dorothy and Aunt Em walk to background. Dorothy takes curler. Aunt Em runs to background.
Why, Zeke, you're just as scared as I am.
What's the matter? Gonna let a little old pig make a coward out of you?
Look at you, Zeke. You're just as white as...
Here, what's all this jabber-ropping when there's work to be done? I know 3 shiftless farmhands that'll be out of a job before they know it.
Well, Dorothy was walking along the...
I saw you tinkering with that contraption, Hickory. Now you and Hunk get back to that wagon.
All right, Mrs. Gail. But someday they're going to erect a statue to me in this town and...
Well, don't start posing for it now. Here, can't work on an empty stomach. Have some crawlers.
Gosh, Miss Gail.
Just fried.
Thanks.
Swell.
See, Dorothy, toppled in with this big Duroc.
It's no place for Dorothy about a pigsty. Now you go feed those hogs before they worry themselves into anemia.
Yes'm.
Auntie Em, really? You know what Miss Gulch said she was going to do to Toto? She said she was going to...
Now, Dorothy, dear, stop imagining things. You always get yourself into a fret over nothing.
No.
Now, you just help us out today and find yourself a place where you won't get into any trouble.
Dorothy reacts, speaks.
Someplace where there isn't any trouble.
Dorothy and Toto, she tosses him a piece of the curler. Toto eats it. Dorothy speaks as she walks forward. She sings, leans against the haystack, then walks near over the rake. Camera pans right.
Do you suppose there is such a place, Toto? There must be. It's not a place you can get to by a boat or a train. It's far, far away, behind the moon, beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do
Toto by Wheel of Rake listening to song.
come true.
Dorothy singing swings on Wheel of Rake, then walks forward around the wheel. Toto jumps up in seat of Rake. Dorothy pets him, sits on front of Rake. Camera pulls back. Dorothy finishes song.
Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then oh, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Miss Gulch rides along the country road on bicycle. Camera pans to right with her. Miss Gulch rides forward to front of Gail's home, stops and gets off her bicycle as Uncle Henry comes forward.
Mr. Gale,
Howdy, Miss Gulch.
I want to see you and your wife right away.
Uncle Henry and Miss Gulch at gate. They speak. Uncle Henry lets go of the gate. It hits Miss Gulch. She reacts, exits left. Uncle Henry puts paintbrush down, starts out left.
About Dorothy.
Dorothy? Well, what's Dorothy done?
What's she done? I'm all about but lame from the bite on my leg.
You mean she bit you?
No, her dog.
Oh, she bit her dog? Huh?
No.
Interior Gale's sitting room. Aunt Em and Miss Gulch seated. Dorothy enters, carrying Toto in her arms. Camera tucks forward on them. Pans right with Dorothy to Uncle Henry, then pans her left to Aunt Em and Miss Gulch. Miss Gulch shows order to Aunt Em. Uncle Henry enters, looks at the order. Miss Gulch picks up basket, rises. Dorothy screams at Miss Gulch. Miss Gulch tries to take Toto away from Dorothy. Uncle Henry takes Toto, puts him into a basket.
That dog's a menace to the community. I'm taking him to the sheriff and make sure he's destroyed.
Destroyed? Toto? Oh, you can't. You mustn't. Auntie Em, Uncle Henry, you won't let her, will you?
Of course we won't. Will we, Em?
Please, Aunt Em. Toto didn't mean to. He didn't know he was doing anything wrong. I'm the one that ought to be punished. I let him go in the garden. He could send me to bed without supper.
If you don't hand over that dog, I'll bring a damage suit that'll take your whole farm. There's a law protecting folks against dogs that bite.
How would it be if she keeps him tied up? He's really gentle, with gentle people, that is.
Well, that's for the sheriff to decide. Here's his order allowing me to take him, unless you want to go against the law.
Yeah?
No, we can't go against the law, Dorothy. I'm afraid poor Toto will have to go.
Now you're seeing reason.
No!
Here's what I'm taking him in, so he can't attack me again.
Oh, no! I won't let you take him. You go away, you... I'll bite you myself!
Dorothy!
You wicked old witch! Uncle Henry, Auntie Em, don't let him take Toto! Don't let her take him, please!
Here, I've got an order. Let me have
Stop her!
Put him in the basket, Henry.
the idea.
Oh, don't, Uncle Henry! Oh, Toto, don't!
Dorothy, crying, looks off stage to Aunt Em, then to Uncle Henry, then turns and starts out. Dorothy runs out of the room. Aunt Em rises, looks after Dorothy, then turns to Miss Gulch and Uncle Henry. Aunt Em speaks to Miss Gulch. Camera tucks forward. Aunt Em exits left. Uncle Henry sits in a chair at the right, grins.
Elmira Gulch, just because you own half the county doesn't mean you have the power to run the rest of us. For 23 years, I've been dying to tell you what I thought of you. And now, well, being a Christian woman, I can't say it.
Miss Gulch riding bicycle to the left. Camera trucks forward on back of bicycle. Toto sticks his head out, looks about, then jumps out. Toto jumps to ground. Camera pans up as he runs toward the background. Miss Gulch riding forward down dirt road on her bicycle. She exits left foreground. Interior, Dorothy's room. Dorothy sitting on the floor by the bed, crying. Toto jumps in through window onto the bed. Camera trucks forward as Dorothy hugs him, reacts, speaks to him, then takes a suitcase from under her bed, starts packing it. Toto barks.
Toto, darling. Oh, I got you back. You came back. Oh, I'm so glad, Toto. Oh, they'll be coming back for you in a minute. We've got to get away. We've got to run away. Quick.
Dorothy's and Toto's footprints in a dirt road. Camera pans up, showing them walking down the road to the background. Dorothy carrying suitcase and basket. Dorothy and Toto walking to right across bridge. Dorothy and Toto on bridge. Dorothy looks down to foreground. Toto runs forward on path, exits foreground. Camp, lettering on wagon. Camera trucks forward on wagon. Professor Marvel, acclaimed by the crowned heads of Europe. Let him read your past, present, and future in his crystal. Also juggling and sleight of hand. Dorothy enters in foreground, reads sign, reacts to Professor humming. Professor steps down out of wagon, sees Dorothy, speaks to her as he crosses to fire at left. Dorothy comes forward.
Well. Guest house, huh? Or house guest, huh? And who might you be? No. Don't tell me.
Professor sits by fire. Dorothy comes forward. They speak.
Let me see. You're traveling in disguise. No, that's not it. You're going on a visit. No. You're running away.
How did you guess?
Professor Marvel doesn't guess. He knows. Now what are you running away from?
Why,
No, don't tell me. They don't understand you at home. They don't appreciate you. You want to see other lands, big cities, big mountains, big oceans.
it's just like you could read what was inside of me.
Professor and Dorothy by fire. Professor roasting wiener on stick.
Yes.
Please, Professor, why can't we go along with you?
Toto enters, bites wiener off stick.
Well,
Oh, Toto, that's not
Professor and Dorothy. Dorothy scolds Toto off stage.
polite. We haven't been asked yet.
Professor and Dorothy. Toto in front of them eating wiener. Professor laughs and speaks, puts another wiener on stick.
he's perfectly welcome. As one talk to another, huh? Here now. Let's hear, where were we?
Professor and Dorothy speak. Professor puts stick down at left.
Oh, yes. You wanted to go home, huh?
Oh, no, I wanted to go along with you.
Oh.
Nobody cares about me at home. They wouldn't even miss me.
Come.
No, they won't. Honestly. Auntie M was even going to let them kill Toto yesterday for biting Miss Gulch. Oh, please, Professor, why can't we go with you and see all the crowned heads of Europe?
Do you know any? Oh, you mean things? Yes. Well, I never do anything without consulting my crystal first. Let's.
Professor rises, camera pans as he and Dorothy cross to the right of the wagon.
Let's go in here. Well, come along. I'll show you. Here you are, right in here.
Interior wagon. Dorothy and Professor come in. Camera trucks forward. Professor moves chair up for Dorothy, then lights candles, sits down, puts on turban, speaks to Dorothy. She closes her eyes. He takes her basket, looks through it, takes out a photograph.
Right here. Right here. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah. This is the same genuine magic, authentic crystal used by the priest of Isis in Osiris, in the days of the pharaohs in Egypt, which Cleopatra saw, perhaps Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and so on. Now you better close your eyes now, child, for a moment, in order to better get in tune with the infinite. We can't do these things without
Photograph of Dorothy and Aunt M.
Reaching out into the
Professor looks at photograph.
Infinite, yes.
Dorothy and Professor, he puts photograph on chair. Dorothy opens eyes. Camera tucks forward as Professor looks into the crystal.
Yes, that's right. Now you can open them. We'll gaze into the crystal. This I see a house, a picket fence.
Camera shooting past Professor at right foreground. Dorothy reacts.
The barn. A weather vane of and a running horse.
Professor, camera shooting past Professor at left foreground. He looks into crystal and speaks.
No, it's a crowning rooster.
Dorothy, camera shooting past Professor.
That's our farm.
Oh, yes.
Dorothy and Professor, he looks into crystal and then looks down at photograph.
Yes, there's a woman. She's...
Close up of the photograph, Dorothy and Professor, he puts the photograph away again and looks into the crystal.
She's wearing a polka dotted dress.
Professor, camera shooting past Dorothy.
Her face is careworn.
Yes, that's Aunt M.
Her name is Emily?
Dorothy, camera shooting past Professor. Dorothy reacts.
That's right. What's she doing?
Well, I can't quite see. Well, she's crying.
Oh.
Someone has hurt her. Someone has broken her heart.
Me?
Professor, camera shooting past Dorothy.
Well, it's someone she loves very much. Someone she's very kind to. Someone who's She's taken care of in sickness.
Dorothy reacts, speaks, camera shooting past Professor.
I had the measles once, and she stayed right by me every minute.
Uh-huh.
What's she doing now?
Professor looks into Crystal, camera shooting past Dorothy.
Well, she's going into a little bed.
Camera shooting past Professor.
Room.
Has it poppies on the wall?
Camera shooting past Dorothy.
Paper?
I said it had poppies on the window paper. What's this? Why, she's putting her hand on her heart and she's dropping down.
Dorothy reacts, camera shooting Professor. He speaks, exits right.
Bed.
Oh, no, no.
That's it. The crystal's gone dark.
Oh, you.
Dorothy and Professor. Dorothy jumps up, picks up her basket, goes to background.
You don't suppose she could really be sick, do you? Oh, I've got to go home right away.
But what's this? I thought you were coming along with me.
Oh, no. I have to get to her right.
Dorothy picks up Toto, camera pans as she comes forward down the steps. She speaks to Toto, reacts. Camera pans left as she runs to the background, picks up suitcase, puts Toto on the ground. Both run uphill in the background, wind blowing leaves around.
Away. Come on, Toto. Oh, what'll I do? If we go home, they'll send you to the sheriff. And if we don't, she may die. I know what I'll do. I'll give you to Hunk. He'll watch out for you. But we've got to hurry. Goodbye, Professor Marvel, and thanks a lot.
Professor comes out of wagon, camera pans him left to horse, wind blowing. Professor looks around, starts out left with horse.
Better get under cover, Sylvester. There's a storm blowing, a whopper, to speak the vernacular of the peasantry. Poor little kid. I hope she gets home all right.
Farmyard, chickens fly down into the yard, run to background toward barn, wind blowing weeds and dust. Camera pans up. Uncle Henry runs forward, speaks to Hunk. Hunk exits into barn at left. Uncle Henry comes forward. Camera trucks back to Hickory working on wind machine. They speak, then hurry to background. Zeke in background runs forward. Hickory exits into barn.
Hunk, get them horses loose. Where's Hickory? Hickory! Doggone it! Hickory!
Right here.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Well, this is my chance. The cyclone is coming. Let me show you what my machine will do. You see? It goes.
Doggone you. Help, Hunk. Get them horses loose.
All right. You'll be sorry.
Go on. Hurry up. Hurry up, I tell you.
Zeke points up to sky. Hunk and others drive horses out of barn.
He's here. It's a twister.
The Gale farm, cyclone approaching. Aunt Em runs out of the house, cups hands to her mouth, calls off stage, runs to background to corner of house, calls off stage.
Dorothy!
Dorothy and Toto near fence. Dorothy looks to background to house. Uncle Henry, Hunk, Hickory, and Zeke. They turn horse loose. It runs out right.
Come on, everybody in the storm cellar.
Dorothy and Toto moving forward against the wind. Weeds and sticks blowing through. Dorothy stops, picks up Toto. Aunt Em on porch. Uncle Henry, Hunk, Zeke, and Hickory run in. Aunt Em calls off stage again. Then all start into the storm cellar.
Henry, I can't find Dorothy. She's somewhere on the storm. Dorothy!
Dorothy carrying Toto pushes gates open, makes her way through the wind. Camera pans right as she goes up onto the porch of the house. Chair and things blow off the porch. Dorothy opens the screen door. The door blows off. Dorothy exits into house. Zeke and Hunk exit into storm cellar, close the cellar door. Dorothy in living room, camera pans left as she runs across the room. Calls off stage. Trucks back in as she hurries forward to the kitchen, then exits door left.
Auntie Em!
The Gale farm, the cyclone approaching. Dorothy sitting on the edge of the bed, holding Toto in her arms. The window blows loose. Hits Dorothy on the head. She falls to the floor, then gets up dazed. Sits on the edge of the bed. Toto jumps up near her. She lies back on the bed. The Gale farm, cyclone hits it, swirling dust circles the house. The house spinning up through the dust. The house spinning up through the dust, other wreckage flying through. Dorothy lying on the bed, opens her eyes, looks around. Dorothy and Toto on bed. Dorothy sits up. Camera tucks back as she sits up, looks out the window, sees trees, furniture, etc. flying through. Dorothy looking out the window, turns to speak to Toto.
We're not on the ground, Toto.
Shooting through window, chicken coop flies through. Then a little old lady sitting in a rocking chair knitting. Dorothy and Toto. Dorothy reacts. Shooting through window, cow floats through. Cow mooing. Dorothy and Toto. Toto barks, jumps off the bed. Cow offstage mooing. Toto crawls under the bed. Dorothy sitting on bed, looking out the window to background, reacts as various things float through. Two men in a rowboat float in. Both tip their hats to Dorothy. Dorothy waves to them. Toto looks out from under the bed. Cow moves off stage. He darts back under the bed. Shooting through the window, cow floats through. Dorothy rises, looks off stage. Shooting through window, tree floats through. Dorothy reacts, turns.
We must be up inside.
Toto looks out from under the bed.
The cyclone.
Dorothy looking off stage out window, reacts. Camera pans as she sits on the edge of the bed. Dorothy seated on the edge of the bed, looking out the window. Miss Gulch floats in, riding her bicycle. Dorothy reacts, looks down to Toto. Miss Gulch moves in closer to window. Her bicycle changes to a broomstick. Her clothes into the flying robe and pointed hat. Dorothy looking off stage reacts, puts her hands over her eyes. Dorothy lies face down on the bed. Miss Gulch floating in through background, disappears. The swirling funnel of the cyclone, the house spins in apart from the cyclone. Dorothy, holding Toto in her arms, throws herself down on the bed, screams. The spinning house, the cyclone whirling in the background, Dorothy screaming. Dorothy and Toto lying on the bed, house spinning, Dorothy screams. The house whirling down through the dust, exits lower right. The house whirls in at top, floats down through. The house floating down through the clouds. Dorothy and Toto lying on the bed. The house crashes to the ground. Dorothy screams. She looks around, then gets up off the bed, goes to the background, picks up the basket, opens the door.
You're muted, Dawn.
Dorothy walks forward, looking around. Camera pans as she walks to the right, exits. Interior farmhouse. Dorothy enters from the foreground and opens the door to reveal Munchkinland. Camera booms forward through the door and around to the right to shoot down on full shot of Civic Center of the Munchkin village. Dorothy looks around, confused by it all. Dorothy, with Toto in her arms, looks about the village and speaks. Munchkins rise before camera in foreground and watch her.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Dorothy, with Toto in her arms, looks about and speaks.
We must be over the rainbow.
Dorothy puts Toto down to the ground, turns to the background, reacts, and backs slowly towards the camera, exits right. Lap dissolved to Glinda, looks on screen to the right to Dorothy. Dorothy looks on screen to foreground and reacts and speaks.
Now, I know we're not in Kansas.
Glinda, camera pans her right to Dorothy and Toto. Camera trucks forward. They speak.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Who, me? Why, I'm not a witch at all. I'm Dorothy Gail from Kansas.
Oh, well.
Toto, Dorothy's feet in background.
Is that the witch?
Who, Toto?
Glinda and Dorothy, they speak and look on screen to foreground.
Toto's my dog.
Well, I'm a little muddled. The Munchkins called me because a new witch has just dropped a house on the Wicked Witch of the East. And there's the house, and here you are, and that's all.
Wicked Witch of the East feet protruding from under the farmhouse.
That's left of the Wicked Witch of the East.
Dorothy looks on screen to foreground, reacts.
And so what the Munchkins want to know
Glinda looks on screen to Dorothy and speaks.
Is, are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Dorothy looks to foreground, speaks, reacts to noise on screen.
Oh, but I've already told you, I'm not a witch at all. Witches are old and ugly. What was that?
Glinda looks and speaks.
The Munchkins. They're laughing because I am a witch. I'm Glinda, the Witch of the North.
Dorothy looks, reacts, speaks, curtsies.
You are? Oh, I beg your pardon, but I've never heard of a beautiful...
Glinda looks and speaks.
Which before?
Only bad witches are ugly.
Glinda and Dorothy, they speak. Dorothy reacts to noises off screen. Camera trucks back. Munchkins enter from background behind flowers. Glinda sings.
The Munchkins are happy because you have freed them from the wicked witch of the East.
Oh, but if you please, what are Munchkins?
The little people who live in this land. It's Munchkinland. And you are their national heroine, my dear. It's all right. You may all come out and thank her. It's all right now. You may all come out. Come out wherever you are, and meet the young lady who fell from a star.
Dorothy and Glinda, Toto with them, Munchkins in foreground, others enter in background. Glinda leads Dorothy toward the background as she sings. Camera booms up and forward.
She fell from the sky, she fell very far, and Kansas, she says, is the name of the star.
Munchkins,
Kansas, she says,
rises.
is the name of the star.
Dorothy, Glinda, and Toto with them. Munchkins watch them as they move to pond. Glinda sings.
She brings you good news, or haven't you heard? She fell out of Kansas, a miracle occurred.
Glinda and Dorothy stand by the pond. Dorothy sings. Munchkins in background.
It really was no miracle. What happened was just this. The wind began to switch, the house to pitch, and suddenly the hinges started to unhitch. Just then, the witch, to satisfy an itch, went flying on her broomstick thumbing for.
Munchkin dances forward and sings. Others behind him move to him and sing.
A hitch.
And oh, what happened then was rich.
The house began to pitch. The kitchen took a slitch.
Munchkins camera trucks along past Munchkins as they sing.
It landed on the wicked witch in the middle of a ditch, which was not a healthy situation for the wicked witch.
Munchkins as they dance and sing. Camera booms back, entering Glinda and Dorothy at right.
The house began to pitch. The kitchen took a slitch. It landed on the wicked witch in the middle of a ditch, which was not a healthy.
Carriage drawn by ponies comes forward. Camera trucks back before it. Munchkins gather around. Dorothy and Glinda at right. Munchkins sing.
Situation for the wicked witch, who began to twitch and was reduced to just a stitch of once was.
Glinda and Dorothy, Munchkins in background. Dorothy starts to move toward the foreground.
The wicked.
Carriage, Glinda, Dorothy, and Munchkins. Dorothy moves to the carriage and is helped in. Munchkins sing and dance.
Witch.
Dorothy, carriage facing Munchkins in background. One steps forward from crowd and speaks. Another follows and speaks. Dorothy turns to foreground as Glinda speaks off screen.
We thank you very sweetly for doing it so neatly.
You killed her so completely that we thank you very sweetly.
Let the joyous news be spread.
Glinda looks to foreground and speaks. Munchkins in background.
The wicked old witch at last is dead.
Dorothy in carriage. Glinda standing on dais at left. Carriage moves toward background, followed by a procession of soldiers. Camera booms forward as carriage turns and comes forward toward foreground. Munchkins sing and dance.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Wake up, you sleepy head. Rub your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up, the wicked.
Dorothy in carriage. Camera pans right slightly with her. She exits right as procession of soldiers enter and march to right. Camera trucks back.
Witch is dead. She's gone where the goblins go below, 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 ho, yo. Let's open up and sing and ring the bells out. Ding dong, a merry yo. Sing it high, sing it.
Carriage with Munchkins following. Camera trucks back slightly as carriage comes forward to steps at right.
Low. Let them know the wicked witch is dead.
Three heralds move forward from building. Mayor enters and comes forward, followed by Barrister and City Fathers. Camera booms back over Dorothy in carriage and foreground. Mayor moves to carriage. Dorothy steps from the carriage and Mayor leads her toward the background. Dorothy and Mayor leads to Barrister and City Fathers turns and speaks. Barrister and City Fathers and Mayor sing.
As mayor of the Munchkin City in the county and the land of Oz, I welcome you most regally.
But we must verify legally to see
You see,
if she
if she
is morally, ethically,
spiritually, physically,
Positively, absolutely.
undeniably,
and reliably
dead.
dead.
Glinda on Days of Fountain, she looks off screen to foreground and smiles. Coroner moves up steps towards the foreground. Camera pans right slightly as he moves to Mayor and Dorothy, unrolls scroll and sings. Scroll reads, Certificate of Death. Corner. Is there a corner?
As coroner, I must aver, I thoroughly examined her, and she is not merely dead, she is really most sincerely dead.
Dorothy, Mayor, Barrister, and City Fathers. Mayor steps forward and looks to the foreground and sings.
Then this is a day of independence for all the Munchkins and all their descendants.
If any.
Yes, let the joyous news be spread. The wicked old witch at last is dead.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the wicked witch.
Munchkins move up steps to left. Camera booms up with them and holds on kids sleeping in nest. Booms on and then down as Munchkins come forward from between huts and sing and dance.
Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Wake up, you sleepy head. Rub your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up, the wicked witch is dead. She's gone where the goblins go below, 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 yo ho. Let's open up and sing and ring the doorbells out. Ding dong, the merry-o. Sing it high, sing it low. Let them know the wicked witch is dead.
Munchkin soldiers parade and march. Camera booms back and up as they come forward. Dorothy, Mayor, and others entered on steps at right, others in background. Soldiers lined up before steps. 3 tots move in through line of soldiers and camera pans them right, entering Dorothy standing on steps. They dance and sing, exit left. 3 tough kids come forward.
That's also you, Jaime.
We represent the Lullaby League, the Lullaby League, the Lullaby League. And in the name of the Lullaby League, we wish to welcome you to Munchkinland.
3 tough kids look to the foreground and sing and dance.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. And in the name of the Lollipop Guild.
3 tough kids sing and hand lollipop to Dorothy standing on steps at right. They move to other Munchkins in background. Camera booms up as they come forward and sing.
We wish to welcome you to Munchkinland.
We welcome you to Munchkinland. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Dorothy, standing with Mayor, Barrister, and City Fathers, she turns from one to the other as they sing. Mayor.
Andy, you're muted. Oh, still muted.
Andy, you're muted.
Yep, there you
Just
go.
unmuted. All right. From now on, you'll be history.
You'll be history.
You'll be You'll be history.
And we will glorify your name.
You'll be a bust.
Be a bust.
Be a bust in the Hall of Fame.
Dorothy, Mayor, and City Fathers, camera shooting past Munchkins in foreground. Camera booms with them as they come forward. Glinda enters. Munchkins gather before Glinda and City Fathers and Dorothy and sing. Smoke cloud appears and Witch enters. Munchkins react.
Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la.
Witch looks off screen to Munchkins. Munchkins in background react and run. Camera booms left with Witch to farmhouse. She looks at Witch of East's feet protruding from under the farmhouse. Exterior Civic Center of Munchkin Village. Dorothy and Glinda, Dorothy holding Toto as she looks off screen to left, foreground, is frightened, speaks to Glinda.
I thought you said she was dead.
Muted. Toni.
That was her sister, the Wicked Witch of the East. This is the Wicked Witch of the West, and she's worse than the other one was.
The Wicked Witch turns away from the farmhouse. Camera pans, trucks right with her as she goes to Dorothy and Glinda. The Munchkins are prostrate on the ground in background. The witch speaks with Glinda and Dorothy.
Who killed my sister? Who killed the Witch of the East? Was it you? Answer me.
Leave her alone.
You stay out of this. I'm here for vengeance. So it was you, was it? You killed her?
Dorothy and Glinda. Dorothy speaks to the witch on screen in foreground.
Didn't you?
No, it was an accident. I didn't mean to kill anybody.
Witch speaks to Dorothy, waves her broomstick about.
Really, I didn't.
Didn't mean it, eh? Accident, eh? Well, my little pretty, I can cause accidents too. This is how I do it.
Aren't you forget?
Witch, Dorothy, and Glinda, Munchkins on the ground in background. The witch reacts as Glinda speaks. Camera trucks left with her as she turns, goes back to the wrecked farmhouse.
Ting the ruby slippers?
The slippers! Yes! The slippers!
The Witch of the East legs protruding from underneath the wrecked house. The ruby slippers disappear and the stockings are drawn back under the house. The witch reacts as she looks down, then turns, looks back to off-screen foreground, speaks.
They're gone!
The witch kneeling down by the house, she rises. Camera trucks her right to Dorothy and Glinda. Glinda stops her, points down to Dorothy's feet.
The ruby slippers! What have you done with them? Give them back to me, or I'll...
It's too late. There they
The ruby slippers on Dorothy's feet. Glinda's wand points to them.
are, and there they'll stay.
Dorothy and Glinda. Dorothy reacts as she looks down, gasps as she looks at the witch on screen, then up at Glinda.
Oh,
Give me back my slippers.
Witch speaks to Dorothy.
I'm the only one that knows how to use them. They're of no use to you. Give them back to me.
Dorothy and Glinda. Glinda advises Dorothy.
Give them back.
Keep tight inside of them. Their magic must be very powerful, or she wouldn't want them so badly.
The witch rises, threatens Dorothy. Glinda laughs, speaks. The witch reacts, looks up off screen, then continues to threaten Dorothy.
You stay out of this, Glinda, or I'll fix you as well.
Oh, rubbish. You have no power here. Begone before somebody drops a house on you, too.
Oh, very well. I'll bide my time. And as for you, my fine lady, it's true. I can't attend to you here, and now, as I'd like, but just try and stay out of my way.
Witch threatens Dorothy, off screen and foreground.
Just try. I'll get you, my
Dorothy and Glinda. Dorothy reacts as the witch laughs.
pretty, and your little dog, too.
The witch backs away from Dorothy and Glinda As the camera booms back, she laughs menacingly. The Munchkins hug the ground with fear. The witch disappears in a cloud of fire and smoke. Glinda speaks to the Munchkins off screen.
It's all right. You can get up. She's gone.
The Munchkins all rise, start to move toward Glinda and Dorothy as Glinda speaks to them.
It's all right. You can all get up.
Glinda and Dorothy, camera pulls back as Glinda speaks. The Munchkins enter, crowd about the two. They bow as Glinda mentions the Wizard of Oz. Camera trucks to the left as Glinda and Dorothy move down steps of Fountain Days. Glinda instructs Dorothy, kisses her on the forehead. Camera pans Dorothy left as she walks through the Munchkins to start of the Yellow Brick Road.
Pooh, what a smell of sulfur. I'm afraid you've made a rather bad enemy of the Wicked Witch of the West. The sooner you get out of Oz altogether, the safer you'll sleep, my dear.
Oh, I'd give anything to get out of Oz altogether. But which is the way back to Kansas? I can't go the way I came.
No, that's true. The only person who might know would be the great and wonderful Wizard of Oz himself.
The Wizard of Oz? Is he good or is he wicked?
Oh, very good, but very mysterious. He lives in the Emerald City, and that's a long journey from here. Did you bring your broomstick with you?
No, I'm afraid I didn't.
Well then, you'll have to walk. The Munchkins will see you safely to the border of Munchkinland. And remember, never let those ruby slippers off your feet for a moment, or you will be at the mercy of the Wicked Witch of the West.
But how do I start for Emerald City?
It's always best to start at the beginning. And all you do is follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Dorothy turns, starts to speak to Glinda off screen in foreground.
But what happens if I...
Glinda speaks to Dorothy.
Just follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Dorothy looks up off screen, open mouth with astonishment. She speaks. Camera pulls down to her feet as she starts to follow the Yellow Brick Road. Camera pulls back slightly as she walks around it. The mayor steps in, speaks to her. Other Munchkins speak. Camera pans left with Dorothy as she progresses along the road. Other Munchkins give her advice.
My, people come and go so quickly here. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road?
Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Shooting down from high, set up to Dorothy on the Yellow Brick Road. The Munchkins all grouped along the border of the road. Camera booms up as they sing while Dorothy walks around the road.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow, 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 follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick...
Dorothy comes forward down the Munchkin-lined Yellow Brick Road. She dances, skips along. Camera booms rapidly back along the road ahead of her. Munchkins entered, lined up along the road. All greet her, then follow her down the road. The five fiddlers sing as they head the procession. Dorothy passes through the gates of Munckinland and exits to foreground. The Munchkins stop at the gates.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road. You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. You'll find he's a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. The Wizard of Oz is because of all of the wonderful things he does.
Dorothy dances down the Yellow Brick Road to the background, camera shooting over the heads of the Munchkins in the foreground as they sing to her. She turns, waves to them. They wave back, and Dorothy continues down the road as the Munchkins cheer.
You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Exterior.
Lap does all too. Exterior, crossroads of Yellow Brick Road. Dorothy and Toto come forward along the road from background. Camera booms down left as she pauses in the center of the crossroads, looks about, speaks.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road? Follow the yellow...
Dorothy, puzzled, looks about, offstage.
Now, which way do we go?
Dorothy, standing in the center of the crossroads, a scarecrow on the pole in the cornfield at right. He speaks, points to right. Dorothy whirls about and looks at him.
That way is a very nice way.
Scarecrow, his arm pointing to right. Dorothy, a bit frightened as she looks about. Off screen, she speaks, looks down at Toto as he barks off screen.
Who said that?
Toto barking at Scarecrow off screen. The Scarecrow in the field of corn, Toto barks off screen. Dorothy looks down and speaks to Toto off screen.
Don't be silly, Toto. Scarecrows.
The Scarecrow in the field in the background, camera shooting past Dorothy in foreground. The Scarecrow speaks, points to the left with his other arm.
It's
Don't
pleasant
talk.
down that way, too.
Dorothy reacts, watches the Scarecrow off screen. Speaks to Toto, looks up as the Scarecrow speaks off screen.
That's funny. Wasn't he pointing the other way?
Of course, people do.
Scarecrow in field, shooting past Dorothy in the foreground. The Scarecrow crosses his arm and points in both directions.
Go both ways.
Dorothy reacts, speaks as she starts forward.
Why?
Dorothy steps forward to the cornfield as she speaks to the Scarecrow. The camera trucks forward.
You did say something, didn't you?
The Scarecrow shakes his head, then nods. Dorothy, looking at the Scarecrow as he nods his head, she speaks to him.
Are you doing that on purpose, or can't you make up your mind?
The Scarecrow explains, shows his straw head.
That's the trouble. I can't make up my mind. I haven't got a brain. Only straw.
Dorothy questions the Scarecrow in the foreground.
How can you talk if you haven't got a
Scarecrow speaks to Dorothy offstage in the foreground.
brain?
I don't know. But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Dorothy nods, speaks.
Yes, I guess you're right.
Dorothy steps over the fence and into the cornfield, speaks as she steps up to the Scarecrow. Camera starts forward.
Well, we haven't really met properly, have we?
Scarecrow.
Why, no.
Dorothy curtsies, speaks.
How do you do?
Scarecrow nods, speaks.
How do you do?
Dorothy speaks.
Very well, thank you.
Dorothy, standing in front of the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow complains about his position.
Oh, I'm not feeling very well at all. You see, it's very tedious being stuck up here all day long with a pole up your back.
Dorothy.
Oh dear, that must be terribly uncomfortable. Can't you get down?
Scarecrow on pole. Dorothy standing in front of him. They speak. She moves around to the back of the pole.
Down? No, you see, I'm...
Oh, well here, let me help you.
Oh, that's very kind of you, very kind.
Dorothy examining the back of Scarecrow as she tries to unfasten him.
Well, oh dear, I don't quite see
The Scarecrow reacts, looks down at Dorothy.
how I can...
Of course, I'm not very bright about doing things, but if you just
Dorothy starts to follow the Scarecrow's directions.
bend the nail down in the back, maybe I'll slip off and...
Oh,
Dorothy turns the nail and the Scarecrow falls to the ground.
yes.
Oh!
Oh!
The Scarecrow falls into the scene. Dorothy enters, questions him as he puts back some straw in his coat that has dropped out. The Scarecrow rises, starts to whirl about.
Oops! There goes some of me again.
Oh, does it hurt you?
Oh, no, I just keep picking it up and putting it back again.
Oh,
It's good to be.
Dorothy screams as the Scarecrow whirls about and falls over in the cornfield fence. She rushes to him. The camera trucks forward as she kneels beside him. They speak.
Free.
oh, ah!
Did I scare you?
No, I just thought you hurt yourself.
Scarecrow shooting past Dorothy in right foreground.
But I didn't scare you.
Dorothy shooting past Scarecrow in the left foreground.
No, of course not.
The Scarecrow reacts, speaks, shooting past Dorothy in the right foreground.
I didn't think so.
The Scarecrow and Dorothy seated by the fence. A crow flies in from the left and alights on the Scarecrow's shoulder. Dorothy reacts as she sees the crow.
Boo. Scat.
Scarecrow and Dorothy, the crow hops to the Scarecrow's shoulder, picks up some of Scarecrow's straw and flies away with it. Scarecrow speaks to Dorothy.
Boo. You see, I can't even scare a crow. They come from miles
Dorothy listening.
around just to eat in my field and laugh in my face.
The Scarecrow.
Oh, I'm a failure because I haven't got a brain.
Dorothy reacts, speaks.
Well, What would you do with a brain if you had one?
Scarecrow and Dorothy, shot favoring the Scarecrow. They speak. He begins to sing. Camera pulls back as he rolls down to the yellow brick road. Dorothy rises, moves to him, holds him up as he starts to fall.
Why, if I had a brain, I could while away for hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain, and my head I'd be scratching, while my thoughts are busy hatching. If I only had a brain, I'd unravel every riddle for every individual in trouble and in pain.
Dorothy holds the Scarecrow as she sings, shot favoring Dorothy.
With the thoughts you'll be thinking, you could be another Lincoln if you only had a brain.
Dorothy holding the Scarecrow as he sings. He jumps, whirls about. Camera trucks forward as he goes into a sitting position, then pans up with him as he rises beside Dorothy, continues to sing.
Oh, I could tell you why the ocean's near the shore. I could tell you of things I never thunk before, and then I'd sit and think some more. I would not be just a nothing, with my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. I would dance and be merry.
Scarecrow and Dorothy, as she watches, he sings, dances about, he whirls, jigs about, falls to his knees. Dorothy reacts. Camera trucks forward as he dances back up the yellow brick road, then pulls back as he comes forward to Dorothy again. He dances to the left and to the cornfield. Camera pans left. He falls over the fence, then rolls back under it as Dorothy rushes to help him. He reacts, sits on curb of the road.
Life would be a ding-a-dairy if I only had a brain.
The Scarecrow seated on the curb of the road as Dorothy looks down at him. The camera pulls back as he feels about his coat. Dorothy points to some of his straw on the road. A crow flies onto the scene and lands near the straw. The Scarecrow reacts. The Scarecrow trembles with fear as Dorothy tries to comfort him. The crow picks up the straw and flies up. Dorothy and the Scarecrow react as the crow flies out to the left with the straw in his mouth. Camera booms up to the left as the Scarecrow rises, goes over to the fence and shakes his fist at the crow flying over the cornfield in the background. The Scarecrow dances back to right along the road as the camera pulls back, pans right with him. Dorothy rushes to him, stops him, and points off screen to the left. The crow lands in the cornfield. Dorothy and the Scarecrow looking off screen to the left. The Scarecrow reacts, assures Dorothy, then camera pulls back as he dances forward, gains momentum, and runs out to the left. The Scarecrow runs out to the left, makes a big jump over the cornfield as the camera pans with him. The Scarecrow jumps in from the right and lands in the cornfield. Several crows fly out of the corn. Dorothy runs forward to the fence, reacts as she looks off screen to the foreground. The Scarecrow moves to the right through the corn stalks. Camera trucks right. He bends down, finds a straw, and stuffs it back into his coat. The Scarecrow runs forward, jumps into the air, and flies out to the right foreground. The Scarecrow soars over the field to the road. Dorothy waves to him. The Scarecrow falls into the scene as he lands on the yellow brick road. Camera pulls back as Dorothy rushes to him. The Scarecrow begins to dance again, doing a series of splits. Toto jumps on a pumpkin, starts it rolling out onto the yellow brick road at right. Camera pans right. Toto follows the pumpkin as it rolls forward down the road. Camera pulls back between the Scarecrow's legs. The pumpkin hits the Scarecrow, hitting the Scarecrow up out of the scene. Dorothy looks on, frightened. Camera pans up with the Scarecrow as he soars up into the air, shooting down from the Scarecrow's angle to Dorothy as she looks up. Camera pans down to the Scarecrow as he falls back toward the road, exits out of shot. The Scarecrow falls back into the scene and lands on the yellow brick road. He runs out to the left. Camera pulls back before the Scarecrow as he dances forward, bumping into one side of the fence, then bouncing from that to the fence on the other side of the road, then back to the fence at the left, and so on down the road. Camera pans right with him as he runs forward past Dorothy and falls through a fence which he breaks under his weight. Scarecrow sits up, looks about, blinks his eyes. Dorothy reacts as she starts forward, looks offstage to the foreground. A reverse action shot of scene 93. Camera pulls back before the Scarecrow as he dances forward, bumping into one side of the fence, then bouncing from that to the fence on the other side of the road, then back to the fence at left, and so on down the road. Camera pans right with him as he runs forward past Dorothy and falls through a fence which breaks under his weight. The Scarecrow bounces off a fence rail and starts to dance forward down the road as he sings. Camera pulls back ahead of him. Dorothy entered. He sings to her. Some straw falls from his coat. The Scarecrow slumps on the ground. Dorothy starts to bend down.
Gosh, it would be awful pleasing to reason without reason for the things I can't explain. Then perhaps I'll deserve you and be worthy ever you if I only had a brain.
Exterior yellow brick road. Dorothy rushes to the Scarecrow lying on the road. She picks up some of his straw, kneels by him. Dorothy kneeling by the Scarecrow. She speaks as she helps him put back some of the straw. They react. Scarecrow half rises.
Wonderful. Why, if our Scarecrow back in Kansas could do that, the crows would be scared to pieces.
They would?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Kansas?
That's where I live, and I want to get back there so badly I'm going all the way to Emerald City to get the Wizard of Oz to help me.
You're going to see a wizard?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if I went with you, this wizard would give me some brains?
I couldn't say, but even if he didn't, you'd be no worse off than you are now.
Yeah, that's true.
But maybe you better not. I got a witch mad at me, and you might get into trouble.
Witch? Ha! I'm not afraid of a witch. I'm not afraid of anything except a lighted match.
I don't blame you for that.
But I'd face a whole box of them for the chance of getting some brains. Look, I won't be any trouble because I don't eat a thing. I won't try to manage things because I can't think. Won't you take me with you?
Dorothy, shooting past Scarecrow in right foreground.
Why, of course I will.
Dorothy and the Scarecrow rise from the road. The Scarecrow jumps up, yells. Dorothy holds him up. They speak. They start to sing. Camera booms left as they walk down the road to and exit.
Hooray! We're off to see the wizard.
Oh, well, you're not starting out very well.
Oh, I'll try. Really, I will.
To Oz.
To Oz.
We're
off to see the wizard,
the
wonderful wizard of Oz.
Here
he
he
is,
the
a whiz
of
of whiz, the wonderful whiz, the was. If ever there was, the wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does.
We're off to see
the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Oz.
Dorothy and Scarecrow come forward along the yellow brick road. Camera pulls back to show Wicked Witch hiding behind the tree at left. She turns, exits to left. Dorothy reacts as she sees the apple orchard right. She goes up to one of the trees. Camera starts to boom forward on her.
Oh, apples. Oh, look. Oh.
Dorothy, standing by the first tree, picks an apple off. She reacts as the tree takes the apple back and slaps Dorothy's hand.
Ouch.
First tree opens its mouth, speaks to Dorothy. Muted.
What do you think?
What do you think you're doing?
Dorothy replies to the tree, then reacts.
We've been walking a long ways and I was hungry and did you say?
The first tree gestures as it speaks.
She?
Scarecrow and Dorothy standing before the first tree as it speaks to the second tree in the background.
Was hungry. Well, how would you like to have some come along and pick something off of you?
Scarecrow and Dorothy react, speak as they look off stage to the tree.
Oh dear, I keep forgetting I'm not in Kansas.
Come on, Dorothy. You don't want any of those apples.
First tree acts, speaks.
What do you mean? She doesn't want any of those apples. Are you hinting my apples aren't what they ought to be?
Scarecrow and Dorothy?
Oh, no. It's just that she doesn't like little green...
The tree reacts, makes a grab for the two.
worms.
Oh!
The first tree grabs for the two. The Scarecrow fights him off as Dorothy runs out to fight for right foreground. The Scarecrow follows her out.
Oh, you!
Go, go!
Oh, help! Let me out! I'll give you a little green.
Dorothy, the Scarecrow, backs in from left foreground, gestures at the tree off screen, speaks, then makes faces at the trees.
Worms?
I'll show you how to get those apples.
You can't!
The first tree winds up, throws apples off stage to foreground.
Do that to me? Oh.
Scarecrow and Dorothy react as the apples begin to hit them. The Scarecrow falls back to the road.
I'll show you!
Shooting past the trees at left, they throw apples at Scarecrow and Dorothy and Toto in the background. The Scarecrow rises, dodges about.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Hey!
First tree laughs as it throws apples to foreground.
Hooray!
Shooting past the trees it left as they throw apples at the Scarecrow and Dorothy in the background. Scarecrow picks them up.
Hooray, I guess that did it. Help yourself.
Oh,
Dorothy comes forward as she picks up the apples. Camera pans and trucks forward as she starts to pick up 2 apples. She sees a tin foot, reacts, examines it. Camera pulls back and booms up as she stands up by the Tin Man. Scarecrow comes in from left. Camera pulls back as they examine him. He tries to speak. Dorothy picks up the oil can.
why, it's a man. A man made out of tin.
What?
Yes. Oh, look.
Oil can. Oil can.
Did you say something?
Oil can.
Oil can what?
Oil can? Oh, here it is.
Scarecrow and Dorothy examine the Tin Man. He tries to speak. They oil him about the mouth.
Where do you want to be oiled first?
My mouth. My mouth.
He said his mouth.
Here.
The other side.
Yes, there.
The Tin Man tries to speak, squeaks out a few sounds. Dorothy and Scarecrow listen as the Tin Man starts to speak. Dorothy starts to pull the axe arm of the Tin Man down. Scarecrow oils him.
My goodness. I can talk again. Oh, oil my arms, please. Oil my elbow.
Oh,
Dorothy lowers the right arm of the Tin Man so that it hangs naturally. Scarecrow, busy with the oil can, the Tin Man begins his story.
Oh,
did that hurt?
oh no, it feels wonderful. Oh, I've held that axe up for ages. Oh,
Goodness. How did you ever get like this?
oh, well, about a year ago, I was chopping that tree, minding my own business when suddenly it started to rain.
Scarecrow and Dorothy listen to the Tin Man. He grows weak. They work his arms back and forth. Scarecrow oils his neck for him. Dorothy raps on the Tin Man's chest. They react. Tin Man explains, then steps backward toward the tree.
And right in the middle of a chop, I rested solid, and I've been that way ever since.
Well, you're perfect now.
My neck, my neck, perfect? Oh, bang on my chest if you think I'm perfect. Go ahead, bang on it.
Oh,
Beautiful. What an echo.
It's empty. The tinsmith forgot to give me a heart.
no heart?
No heart.
Oh,
All hollow. Oh,
Tin Man falls back as Scarecrow and Dorothy enter to help him. He holds them off, begins to sing.
when a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his mettle, and yet I'm torn apart. Just because I'm presuming that I could be kind of human if I only had a heart.
Tin Man leans over toward Dorothy and sings as camera pans left slightly, then leans back.
I'd be tender, I'd be gentle, and awfully sentimental regarding love and art. I'd be friends with the sparrows.
Dorothy and Scarecrow listening to the Tin Man. He comes forward slightly, reacts as he hears Snow White's voice offstage, then continues with song.
And the boy who shoots the arrows if I only had a heart. Picture me, a balcony, above a voice sings low. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? I hear a beat, how sweet. Just a register emotion, jealousy, devotion. I really feel the part. I could stay young and chipper, and I'd lock it up with a zipper if I only had a heart.
Dorothy, Tin Man, and Scarecrow. The Tin Man comes forward as he starts his dance. Dorothy and Scarecrow. Camera pulls back. He stops as one of his joints sticks. Dorothy oils it. Tin Man comes forward a few more steps. Then the other knee sticks. They oil that for him. He thanks them. Camera pulls back, pans left as he runs backward down the road and starts his dance. Dorothy and Scarecrow watching on stage to left foreground, shooting past Scarecrow and Dorothy at right to the Tin Man as he dances before them. Camera pans slightly with the Tin Man as he dances about. He taps his chest, makes the whistle in his funnel hat below, then continues to dance. Dorothy and the Scarecrow look at each other with amazement as they watch the dance of the Tin Man. Dorothy whispers to the Scarecrow, The Tin Man dancing, he jumps forward slightly, folds his arms, then locks in that position, starts to lean to the left. Camera pans Dorothy and Scarecrow as they rush to the left to help Tin Man. They catch him in time. He starts to fall in other direction. They rush around to catch him, but now he starts to fall to the other side. This business is repeated. Then camera pans to right as the Tin Man stumbles toward background. Scarecrow tries to get out of the way and falls over. Dorothy grabs Tin Man's hand.
Oh!
Tin Man sits down. Dorothy reacts, speaks with him. Scarecrow enters from left. Dorothy oils the Tin Man some more and then asks him to go to the Emerald City too. Then all react as the witch laugh. Off screen. They rise to their feet as camera pans up to the right to the witch standing on the roof of the Tin Man's cottage.
Oh, are you all right?
I'm afraid I'm a little rusty yet.
Oh dear, that was wonderful. You know, we were just wondering why you couldn't come to Emerald City with us to ask the Wizard of Oz for a heart.
Emerald City? Why, that's a long and dangerous journey. It might rain on the way.
But you've just been saying how much you want a heart.
And I'll keep the oil can handy.
Well, I suppose the wizard wouldn't get me one. When we got there?
Oh, but he will. He must. We've come such a long way already.
Oh. What's that? Oh.
You call that long?
The witch on the Tin Man's roof. She speaks as she looks on screen to a foreground.
Why, you've just begun. Forgotten about me?
Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow react as the witch speaks on stage.
Eh? Well, I haven't forgotten about you.
The witch speaks to the three.
Helping the little lady along, are you, my fine gentleman?
Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow.
Well, stay away from her.
Witch speaks, points at the Scarecrow on stage.
Or I'll stuff a mattress with you.
Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow. Tin Man points to the trembling Scarecrow. Then the Tin Man reacts, points to himself.
And you, I'll use you for a beehive.
The witch speaks, throws a ball of fire.
Here, Scarecrow, want to play ball?
Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow standing at the left as the witch on the roof throws down a ball of fire at them. She laughs gleefully. Witch speaks to Dorothy.
And as for you, my little...
Tin Man putting out the fire as Dorothy helps the Scarecrow, who is rolling about in the grass. She reacts to Witch, speaks on stage.
Dorothy, I wish...
Dorothy hugs Toto tightly as Witch speaks.
You luck with the Wizard of Oz, and
Witch speaks to Dorothy, then laughs.
Happy journey back to Kansas.
The witch laughs, sits on her broomstick in a position to fly away. Smoke fills the shot, obscuring the witch from sight. Forest, Dorothy holding Toto in her arms, watching. Cloud of smoke as witch disappears. The Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow looking on stage. Camera trucks forward to them. Tin Man and Scarecrow speak, snap their fingers. Tin Man reacts to a buzzing sound.
I'm not afraid of her. I'll see you get safely to the wizard now, whether I get my brain or not. Stuff a match with me, ha!
And I'll see you reach the wizard, whether I get a heart or not. Beehive. Bah. Let her try and make a beehive out of me, you know? What's that?
Tin Man and Scarecrow sitting down. Dorothy in the background near the tree comes forward as Tin Man and Scarecrow rise. She speaks, reacts when she sees bee on her arm. Turns around as Tin Man takes the bee off her arm.
Oh, they're gone now.
Oh goodness, did any of them sting you?
I guess they tried to, but they bent their stingers.
Oh dear, I don't know what I'd do if a whole swarm kept. Oh, there's one on me!
Oh, I'll get it.
Ah!
Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man. Tin Man looks at the dead bee in his hand, speaks and cries.
Oh,
I see. I killed it. Oh, I killed that poor little honeybee.
Tin Man, crying, speaks.
It's only a man without a poor head who could do a thing like that. Poor little bee.
Dorothy reacts, reaches on stage.
Oh, there.
The Tin Man, as Dorothy reaches in, wipes away his tears.
There. Don't cry. There.
Dorothy looks on stage, speaks.
As a matter of fact, that's just an old drone bee, and it would have died.
Tin Man looks on stage.
Anyway.
Yes?
You put it out of its misery.
Oh.
It's
Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man speak and laugh.
It's just that the witch is so wicked. I don't think you two ought to come with me because you'll get into trouble.
Oh, you don't think we're going to stand by and let her get away with fireballs and bees, do you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, you're the best friends anybody ever had. And it's funny, but I feel as if I've known you all the time. But I couldn't have, could I?
I don't see how. You weren't around when I was stuffed and sewn together, were you?
And I was standing over there rusting for the longest time.
Still, I wish I could remember. But I guess it doesn't matter anyway. We know each other now, don't we?
That's right.
We do.
To Oz?
To Oz.
Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man. Camera pans right as they dance down the brick road. Scarecrow picks up basket. Camera trucks back as they dance forward, then turn and go up the road to the background. Exit.
We're off to
Off
see
to see
the wizard.
The
Wonderful,
wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Here he
Here
is.
he
The
is.
wizard of
Wizard of
Wiz.
Wiz,
If
if
ever
ever
a
a
Wiz there
wizard
was.
was.
If ever a Wiz there was,
Wizard
the wizard of Oz. Because of the wonderful things he does.
He does.
We're off to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Interior, dark and eerie forest. Tin Man. Dorothy and Scarecrow walking forward down the brick road. Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow walking forward slowly. Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow stop. Look around off screen. Dorothy, frightened, speaks.
I don't like this forest. It's dark and creepy.
Of course, I don't know, but I think it'll get darker before it gets lighter.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
We might.
Oh.
Animals that eat straw?
Some, but mostly lions and tigers and bears.
Dorothy reacts.
Lions?
Scarecrow reacts, speaks.
And tigers?
Tin Man looks off stage, speaks.
And bears.
Dorothy and Scarecrow, Dorothy frightened.
Oh, lions and tigers and bears.
Dorothy and Scarecrow walk forward along the brick road. Camera pans to right. They react to a growl off screen.
Oh my.
Lions and tigers.
Tigers and
bears.
bears.
Oh my.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my. Lions, tigers and bears. Oh my. Ah!
Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow, frightened, speak. Look off screen to react.
And bears.
What sort of an animal is that?
It's a huge one.
Don't be frightened. I'll protect you. Oh, look.
Lion on fallen tree. Dorothy, Scarecrow, and Tin Man in foreground on brick road. The lion jumps toward them. Camera trucks back as the three move back. The lion takes two great leaps, lands on the brick road. Tin Man and Scarecrow fall at the side of the road. Dorothy hides behind the tree. Lion growling. Lion growling. Scarecrow trembling. Lion growling. Dorothy looks out around the tree, reacts. Lion growling. Tin Man trembling. Lion sneers. Camera pans as he stands on his hind legs, puts up his paws, speaks.
Put him up! Put him up!
Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow. Dorothy back of the tree in the background. Camera trucks forward. Lion speaks and gestures.
Which one of you first? I'll fight you both together if you want. I'll fight you with one paw tied behind my back. I'll fight you standing on one foot.
Lion speaks. Camera pans him to the right to Tin Man. Dorothy in background.
I'll fight you with my eyes closed. Oh, pulling an X on me, eh?
Tin Man trembling. Lion speaks. Camera pans him left to Scarecrow. Dorothy in background watching. Pans Lion to right to Tin Man.
Sneaking up on me, eh? Why?
Here, go away and let us alone.
Oh, scared, huh?
Dorothy looks out from the tree, reacts.
Afraid, huh?
Lion and Tin Man. Lion speaks and laughs. Camera pans to him to left to Scarecrow. Dorothy in background.
How long can you stay fresh in that can? Come on, get up and fight. You shiver junkyard. Put your hands up, you lopsided bag of hay.
Scarecrow reacts, speaks.
Now that's getting personal, Lion.
Tin Man looks on screen, speaks.
Yes, get up and teach him a lesson.
Scarecrow and Lion, Dorothy in background.
Well, what's wrong with you teaching him?
Tin Man reacts,
Well-
speaks.
Well, I hardly know him.
Toto barking. Lion snarls, speaks.
Well, I get you anyway, Pee-wee.
Dorothy reacts, exits left, foreground. Lion and Dorothy. Toto runs into shrubs. Lion starts after him. Dorothy picks up Toto, coming forward over to Scarecrow and Tin Man. Camera pans left as Lion starts for Toto. Dorothy slaps his hand. He backs away, crying.
Shame on you!
Lion, camera shooting past Dorothy at left foreground. Lion crying, speaks.
What'd you do that for? I didn't bite him.
No, but you tried to.
Dorothy and Lion, camera pulls back. Scarecrow and Tin Man enter the left. Dorothy speaks to Lion. He cries as he speaks.
It's bad enough picking on a straw man, but when you go around picking on poor little dogs.
Well, you didn't have to go and hit me, did you? Is my nose bleeding?
Well, of course not. My goodness, what a fuss you're making. Well, naturally, when you go around picking on things weaker than you are, why, you're nothing but a big coward.
You're right. I am a coward.
Lion, camera shooting past Dorothy, Lion crying, speaks.
I haven't any courage at all. I even scare myself. Look at the circles under my eyes.
Tin Man, Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Lion, they speak. Lion crying.
I haven't slept in weeks.
Why don't you try counting sheep?
That doesn't do any good. I'm afraid of them.
Oh, that's too bad. Don't you think the wizard could help him too?
I don't see why not. Why don't you come along with us? We're on our way to see the wizard now, to get him a heart.
And him a brain.
I'm sure he could give you some courage.
Lion, camera shooting past Dorothy.
Well, wouldn't you feel degraded to be seen in the company of a cowardly lion? I would.
Dorothy, Tin Man, and Scarecrow, camera shooting past Lion at the right foreground.
No, of course not.
Tin Man, Dorothy, Scarecrow, and Lion.
Gee, that's awfully nice of you. My life.
Dorothy in group, Dorothy puts Toto down. Lion sings as the four walk and dance along the brick road to the right. Camera trucks with them.
Has been simply unbearable.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad, believe me, missy, when you're born to be a sissy without the viv and verve. But how could I show my prowess? Be a lion, not a mouse, if I only had a nerve. I'm afraid there's no denying I'm just a dandelion and a fate I don't deserve. I'd be brave as a blizzard.
I'd be gentle as a lizard.
I'd be clever as a gizzard.
If the wizard is the wizard who will serve.
Tin Man and Scarecrow sings. Camera pans right to Dorothy and Lion.
Then I'm sure to get a brain.
A heart.
A home.
The nerve.
Scarecrow, Tin Man, Dorothy, and Lion sing as they dance forward along the brick road. Camera trucks ahead and...
Oh, we're out to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a wizard, a wizard, ever a wizard was.
Dorothy, Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow dance down the brick road to background all exit.
If ever there was the Wizard of Oz, it was
Because of the wonderful things he does.
Off to see the wizard.
We're off
The
to see
wonderful Wizard of Oz.
the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Camera on Crystal. The images of the Tin Man, Dorothy, Scarecrow, and Lion in Crystal as they march along arm in arm. Camera trucks back, showing the witch and Nico looking into Crystal. Witch laughs. Camera pans to her left to the table. She mixes poison. Camera pans to her right to Crystal. She holds poison over the crystal, waves her hand over it. The images of group fade out. Poppy Field fades in. Camera trucks forward on Crystal.
So, you won't take warning, eh? All the worse for you then. I'll take care of you now instead of later. And when I gain those ruby slippers, my power will be the greatest in Oz. And now, my beauties, something with poison in it, I think. With poison in it, but attractive to the eye and soothing to the smell. Poppies! Puppies, puppies.
Poppy field. Camera pans up, then pans leftover field to edge of forest. Dorothy, Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man coming forward out of forest. Dorothy, Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow all looking off stage. Dorothy speaks.
There's Emerald.
Shooting over Poppy Field to Towers of Emerald City, Dorothy and group in foreground.
City. Oh, we're almost there at last. At last.
Dorothy, Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow, they speak.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Just like I knew it would be. He really must be a wonderful wizard to live in a city like that.
Well, come on then. What are we waiting for?
Nothing. Let's hurry.
Dorothy, Tin Man, and Scarecrow and Lion run to background through Poppy Field.
Yes, let's run.
Yes.
Tin Man, Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Lion running forward through Poppy Field, camera trucks right. Tin Man and Scarecrow running through Poppy's, camera trucks right, both gesture.
Come on, come on.
Hurry, hurry.
Dorothy and Lion run through Poppy's, camera trucks right. Dorothy running right, staggers a little, slows down. Scarecrow and Tin Man running forward through Poppy Field, Lion in background. Dorothy enters in far background. Scarecrow and Tin Man still stop on hill, call and gesture.
Oh, come on, come on.
Look, you can see it here. Oh, it's wonderful.
Emerald City.
Dorothy running slowly to right, camera pans her to Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow. Dorothy staggers, puts her hand to her head.
Oh, what's happening? What is it?
Dorothy puts her hand to her head, speaks.
I can't run anymore. I'm so
Tin Man and Scarecrow.
sleepy.
Here, give us your hands, and we'll pull you.
Dorothy and group.
Along.
Oh no, please, I have to rest for just a minute. Toto.
Toto lying among the poppies.
Where's Toto?
Dorothy and group. Dorothy lies down among the poppies.
Oh, you can't rest now. We're nearly there.
Lion yawns and speaks.
What did she do that for?
The images of the Lion, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Dorothy and Crystal. They speak. Camera trucks back, showing the witch and Nico standing near her Crystal. Witch laughs and speaks. The images fade out. Nico exits. Camera trucks forward with witch.
Hey, Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Dorothy!
Hey, man.
Dorothy, you can't sleep here. You can't sleep in the middle of a field.
Call away. Oh, call away. Oh, she won't hear any of you again. And there's nothing you can do about it either. Bring me my wishing cap. I'll call the winged monkeys to fetch me those slippers. Hurry, 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 hurry. It works very smoothly.
Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow and Dorothy lying in the poppies. Lion starts to cry. Scarecrow speaks, holds the lion up. Lion drops as Tin Man and Scarecrow start to pick up Dorothy.
Oh, poor Dorothy.
Don't cry. You'll rust yourself again.
Coming to think of it, 40 weeks wouldn't be bad.
Don't you start it too.
Oh, we gotta try and carry Dorothy.
I don't think I could, but we could try.
Let's.
Yes.
Oh, now look at him. Oh, this is terrible.
Here, Tin Man, help me.
Dorothy's Scarecrow tries to lift her, but Tin Man and Scarecrow, Dorothy and Lion lying among the poppies. Tin Man and Scarecrow react, call for help.
Oh, this is terrible. Can't budge her an inch. This is a spell, this is.
A wicked witch. What'll we do? Help! Help!
It's no use screaming at a time like this. Nobody will hear you. Help!
Tin Man and Scarecrow on top of a hill, crying for help. Superimposed shot of the good witch as she waves hand. Snow starts to fall.
Help! Help!
Dorothy lying among the poppies, snow falling on her.
Help! Help!
Tin Man and Scarecrow on top of hill, superimposed shot of the good witch waving hand, snow falling. The superimposure fades out.
Look, it's snowing. It isn't snowing. It couldn't be, but it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Oh, maybe that'll help.
Dorothy lying among the poppies, snow falling on her. She opens her eyes.
Oh, but it couldn't help.
Scarecrow looking down on stage, snow falling. Camera pans as he kneels down to Dorothy. She wakens, sits up. Lion sits up in background. Dorothy looks on stage to left. Camera pans to Tin Man, then pulls back. Dorothy jumps up, takes oil can from basket. They oil Tin Man.
It does help. Dorothy, you're waking up.
Oh,
Oh, unusual weather we're having, ain't it?
look, he's rusted again. Oh, give me the oil can, quick. Oh,
Yeah,
quick.
yes, there.
Oh, here, quick. Oh, we'll oil him up.
Images of Tin Man, Dorothy, Scarecrow, Lion, and Crystal. Camera truck specs showing Witch and Nico looking into the crystal. The witch reacts, speaks. The images from the crystal.
Hey, a hot water bottle would be good if we had one.
Oh, he's been crying. Why have you been...
Oh, curse it, curse it! Somebody always helps that girl. But shoes or no shoes, I'm still brave enough to conquer her. And woe to those who try to stop me.
Dorothy, Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man on a hill in a poppy field. Dorothy stops. All react to voices singing. The four of them come forward on the hill.
Come on, let's get out of... come on, let's get out of here. Look, Emerald City is closer and prettier than ever.
You're out of the woods, you're out of the dark, you're out of the night. Step into the sun, step into the light. Keep straight ahead for...
Dorothy, Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man, arm in arm, tramping to right. Camper truck's right.
the most glorious place.
Interior tower room. The witch gestures with broomstick. Camera pans left, then right as she runs around to window. Stands on sill, speaks, then flies out.
To the Emerald City as fast as lightning.
The witch flying on broomstick. Camera pans as she circles tower, then flies out left. Gate to Emerald City. Dorothy, Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow enter left foreground. Skip to background to the gate.
On the earth or the sky, hold on to your breath, hold on to your heart, hold on to your hope. March up to the gate and bid it open, open.
Dorothy, Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow at gate. They ring the bell. Doorman pops head through little window and door, looks down off screen, speaks.
Ring the bell.
Dorothy and group at gate. Doorman at window. He speaks to the group. They look around.
We did.
Can't you read
Read what?
the notice?
What
What
notice?
notice?
It's on the door, as plain as nose on your face. It's
Doorman reacts, starts out. Dorothy and group at door. Doorman disappears, re-enters, hangs sign on door, then exits, closing door. Dorothy and others read sign. Dorothy knocks on door. Doorman re-enters, speaks to them.
Bell,
Bell out of order.
Please,
Please
knock.
knock.
well, that's more like it. Now state your business.
We want to see the wizard.
Wizard.
Oh, the wizard? But nobody sees the Great Oz. Nobody's ever seen the Great Oz. And even I've never seen him.
Well, then how do you know there is one?
Doorman speaks, reacts, starts out.
Because you're wasting my time.
Oh, please, please.
Dorothy, Tin Man, and Lion. Dorothy speaks.
Sir, I've got to see the wizard. The Good Witch of the North sent me.
Dorothy looks off screen, speaks.
Prove it.
Dorothy and group at door. Doorman at little window of door looks down at them.
She's wearing the ruby slippers she gave her.
Ruby slippers on Dorothy's feet.
Oh,
Doorman speaks and gestures.
she is. Well, burst my buttons. Why didn't you say that?
Dorothy, Tin Man, and Lion smiling.
In the first place, that's a horse
Doorman looks down, off screen, speaks, exits, closing window.
of a different color. Come on in.
Dorothy and group at gate as it opens. People moving about on Street of Oz in background. Cabbie drives in from right. Camera trucks forward. Dorothy and group go to cab.
Cabbie's muted.
Cabby, just what you're looking for. Take you any place in the city, we does.
Cabbie on seat of cab. Dorothy and group standing alongside. Camera trucks forward on Cabbie.
Well, would you take us to see the wizard?
The wizard? The wizard? I can't. Well, yes, of course. But But first, I'll take you to a little place where you can.
Dorothy, Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow. Camera pulls back as they climb into cab. Dorothy looks at horse, reacts, speaks to Cabby. Camera trucks back as Cabby drives forward, singing. People wave to Cabby.
Tidy up a bit. What?
Oh, thank you so much. We've been gone such a long time and we feel so missed. What kind of a horse is that? I've never seen a horse like that before.
No, and never will again. I fancy. There's only one of him, and he's it. He's the horse of a different color you've heard all about. Ha ha ha! Ha. Ho ho ho! And a couple of tra-la-las. That's how we laughed the day away in the merry old land of Oz. Buzz, 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 chirp, 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 and a couple of la-di-das.
Cabby, Dorothy, and group riding through Street of Oz. People gather around, wave.
That's how the crickets crick all day in the merry old land of Oz. We get up at 12.
Cabby driving cab as he sings. Dorothy, Lion, and others in cab. Crowd following.
And start to work at 1. Take an hour for a lunch.
Cab moving to right through Street of Oz, crowd following. Camera pans right, cab stops. Dorothy and others get out. Camera trucks forward as they exit into building. Sign above door reads, wash and brush up, company.
And then at 2 we're done. Jolly good fun. Ho, 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 and a couple of tra-la-las. That's how we left the day away in the merry old land of Oz. Ha ha ha! Ho ho ho! Ha 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 ha! That's how we left the day away with a ho ho ho! Ha ha ha! In the merry old land of Oz.
3 masseurs filling the Scarecrow with new straw. They sing as they work. Camera trucks back to left, showing men polishing the Tin Man. They sing. Camera trucks back, showing girls doing Dorothy's hair. They sing. Camera pans left, showing girls clipping the lion. All sing. Dorothy, Tin Man, and Scarecrow. Lion rises. The 4 of them start out. Camera pans left.
Pat, pat here, pat, pat there, and a couple of brand new straws. That's how we keep you young and fair in the merry old land of Oz.
Rub, rub here, rub, rub there, and whether your tin or bras. That's how we keep you in repair in the merry old land of Oz.
We can make a dimpled smile out of a frown.
Can you even dye my eyes to match my gown?
Uh-huh.
Jolly old town.
Clip, clip here, clip, clip there. We give the roughest claws.
Oh, muted. Chance Lion.
Sorry. That certain air of savoir-faire in the merry old land of Oz.
Ha ha ha.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 ho.
Ha!
That's how we
laugh
one day away in
The merry old land of Oz.
That's
That's
how we laugh.
we laugh.
Dorothy and group come out into street, all singing. Camera trucks back as they start forward. Dorothy looks up to sky and reacts.
The day away. Ha ha ha. The merry old land.
of Oz. Ha ha ha. Ho,
Ho ho ho.
Tin Man, Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Lion crowd in background, all looking up at the sky. They react.
Who's her? Who's her?
It's the witch. She's followed us here.
Can't that female take no for an answer?
Oh,
Surrender, Dorothy, or die. WWW.
2 Oz women looking up to the sky.
Dorothy, who's Dorothy?
2 Oz women run to right. Camera pans.
The wizard will explain it.
Man and woman looking up to the sky.
To the wizard.
Ozman speaks. Others run through the background.
To the wizard.
Tin Man, Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Lion react.
dear. Whatever shall we do?
Well, we'd better hurry if we're going to get to see the wizard.
Dorothy and group run out at right, crowd following. Crowd of townsfolk moving through Street of Oz. Camera trucks back. Crowd moving to background to steps of palace. Guard on steps speaks and gestures. Here, 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 wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stop. Stop. It's all right. Guard speaks and gestures. Camera trucks forward. It's all right. Everything is all right. The great and powerful Oz has got matters well in hand, I hope. So you can all go. Crowd in street in front of palace. Guard in foreground speaks to them. Home. And there's nothing to worry about. Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion make their way through the crowd. Camera pans them to the right. The guard steps. Get out of here now. Go on. Go on home. I go home. Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion. Camera shooting past guard at right foreground.
If you please, sir, we want to see the wizard right away. All four of us.
Guard, camera shooting past Dorothy and group in foreground. Orders are, nobody can see the Great Oz. Not nobody, not know how. Dorothy and group, camera past guard at sight foreground.
Oh, but we must.
Guard, camera past Dorothy and group in background. Guard speaks and gestures. Orders are, not nobody, not know how. Dorothy and group, camera past guard at right. He's in conference with himself on account of this. Guard, camera past Dorothy. Trouble with the witch. And even if he wasn't, you wouldn't have been able to see him anyway on account of nobody has, not even us in the palace. Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion, camera past guard at right.
Oh, but please, it's very important.
And I got a permanent just for the occasion.
Not nobody, not horn inside of guard's cape. No how. Guard, camera shooting past Dorothy. Pardon me, we've got to change the guards. Guard, camera shooting past Dorothy and group. Camera pans right as the guard crosses to Sentry House. Sentry House revolves. Guard in Sentry House turns fake mustache upside down. Guard steps out of Sentry House. Camera pans left as he comes forward to Dorothy and group. Camera trucks forward. Now, what do you want?
We want to see the wizard.
Not nobody, not Dorothy and group. At left, guard at right. No how.
That's what the other man said.
But she's Dorothy.
Guard reacts, speaks, camera past Dorothy and Scarecrow in foreground. The witch is Dorothy? Well, that makes a difference. Just wait here. I'll announce you at once. Guard shoulders his sword, camera past him to right. He exits into palace. At the palace gates, Tin Man, Dorothy, Scarecrow, and Lion, as they look off screen to right, react. They speak. The Lion moves away from them and steps up on the terrace garden. Camera booms forward to left. He starts to sing.
Did you hear that? He'll announce us at once. I've as good as got my brain.
I can fairly hear my heart beating.
Be home in time for supper.
In another hour, I'll be the king of the forest. Long live the king. If
The Lion sings.
I were king of the forest, not queen, and not duke, not prince.
The Scarecrow,
my
Dorothy,
robes
and Tin Man group about in front of the Lion, and he sings.
My regal robes in the forest
Lion sings.
would be satin and not cotton and not chintz. I'd command each thing, be it fish or fowl,
Lion sings.
with the woof and a royal growl, as
Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man listen to the Lion.
I'd click my heel, all the trees would kneel, and the mountains bow, and the bulls kowtow,
Lion gestures, grimaces, and sings.
and the sparrows would wing, if I were king.
The guard opens the peep window and the doors and looks off screen to foreground, reacts to the song. Camera trucks forward on him.
Each rabbit would show respect to me, the chipmunks.
Lion continues with song, gestures magnificently as he concludes.
Get a flick to me, through my tail would lash, I would show compassion for every underling, if I were the king, just king.
Lion standing in left foreground as he finishes song. Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man in front of him. They bow, they dance about as they sing, then kneel down.
Each rabbit would show respect to him. The chipmunks genuflect to him.
And his wife would be queen of the May.
Lion.
I'd be monarch of all I survey.
Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man bow. Then a carpet is rolled down in front of the Lion. All come forward as the camera pulls back. Dorothy acts as Flower Girl. They come forward to royal robe. It is placed on the Lion. As they turn about, then start back to the throne. The Tin Man crowns the lion with a half of a flower pot.
Monarch of all I survey.
Lion sings, laughs, speaks.
Ma ha 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 ha. Of all I survey.
Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man bow before the lion. As he concludes, Dorothy kneels, speaks. Lion moves down from the terrace garden and comes forward as the others question him. Camera trucks back to the right with them. Lion starts up the palace steps.
Your Majesty, if you were king, you wouldn't be afraid of anything?
Not nobody, not know how.
Not even a rhinoceros?
Imposterous.
How about a hippopotamus?
Why, I'd trash him from the top of his bottomus.
Supposing you met an elephant?
I'd wrap him up in cellophane.
What if it were a brontosaurus?
I'd show him who was king of the forest.
How?
How?
Lion explains.
Courage. That makes a king out of a slave. Courage.
Lion explains to Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Dorothy.
What makes the flag of the mast to wave? Courage.
The guard sticks his head out of the peep window in the gates, looks off screen to foreground. Camera trucks forward on him.
What makes the elephant charge? His trunk's tusk is the might misty mist of the dusky dusk. What makes the muskrat guard his musk? Courage.
Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Dorothy listening to the lion.
What makes the Sphinx the seventh wonder? Courage. What makes the dawn come up like thunder? Courage. What makes the hootin' hot so hot? What puts the ape in apricot? What have they got that I ain't got?
Shooting past the lion to the Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Tin Man, they all speak.
Courage.
Courage.
Lion speaks, then reacts.
You can say that again. Ha! Huh!
Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow standing in front of the lion all react as the guard comes forward from background, roars at them, then enters the palace. Camera trucks forward as Dorothy begins to cry. The others try to comfort her. Go on home. The wizard says go away.
Go away.
Oh,
Looks like we came a long way for nothing.
oh, and I was so happy. I thought I was on my way home.
Cried Dorothy.
The guard looks out through the peep window to off-screen foreground. Camera trucks forward.
We're going to get you to the wizard.
We certainly are. How are we?
Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow grouped about Dorothy. Lion and Scarecrow speak. Dorothy speaks as she sobs.
Would it be any good if I roared?
Who at?
I don't know.
Auntie Em was so good to me, but I never appreciated it, running away and hurting her feelings.
Dorothy sobs, then speaks to the others off-screen.
Professor Marvel said she was sick. She may be dying, and it's all my fault.
The guard, with streams of tears pouring down his cheeks, Dorothy sobbing.
Oh, I'll never forgive myself. Never, never, never.
The guard, looking out the window, he sobs, speaks. Camera pulls back to enter Dorothy and her three friends. The guard exits from the window. Dorothy and the others rise as the gates to the palace open. A long corridor seen in the background. They start cautiously forward down it. Camera trucks forward. Oh, please don't cry anymore. I'll get you into the wizard somehow. Come on. I had an Auntie Em myself once. Interior corridor. Camera trucks back ahead of the Scarecrow. Lion, Dorothy, and Tin Man, as they come forward, they stop at intervals. Keep the lion from running back. Then they tiptoed forward, react to echo.
Wait a minute, fellas. I was just thinking, I really don't want to see the wizard this much. I better wait for you outside.
What's the matter?
Oh, he's just scared again.
Don't you know the wizard's going to give you some courage?
I'd be too scared to ask him for it.
Oh, well then, we'll ask him for you.
I'd sooner wait outside.
But why? Why?
Because I'm still scared.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
What happened?
somebody pulled my tail.
Oh, you did it yourself.
Oh,
Here, come on.
what was that?
Our echo.
Tap, tap, tap. What's that? Our echo, echo, echo.
The lion starts to bolt, but the others grab him. Dorothy speaks as they face down corridor to background. Voice of Oz heard.
Oh, come on, come on. We'll soon find the wizard.
The wizard! The great and powerful Wizard of Oz!
Shooting down the corridor, the doors at the end, they open as the voice of Oz booms out.
The Great Wizard of Oz, come forward!
Scarecrow, Lion, Dorothy, and Tin Man come forward. The Lion speaks, hides his eyes.
Tell me when it's over. Oh.
The four move down the corridor to the background. Interior throne room. The four enter through the door at left. Camera pans them right as they move towards center of the room. They react as they see the throne in the background, flame and smoke belching forth from the throne.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, I want to go home. I want to go home.
Throne, fire, and smoke issuing forth.
I am Oz, the great and powerful.
The four trembling and shaking with fear.
Who are you?
Throne.
Who are you?
The four react with fear. The others shove Dorothy forward. She comes forward, speaks.
If you please, I am Dorothy.
Dorothy speaks, looks back at the others.
The small and meek. We've come to ask you.
Throne, flame and smoke pouring out.
Silence!
Dorothy reacts, turns and runs back to the others. Dorothy returns to the other three, speaks.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets.
Throne.
The great and powerful Oz knows why you came here. Step forward.
The four, the Tin Man shakes, speaks, comes wobbling forward.
Tin Man.
Oh, it's me.
Throne.
You dare come to me for a heart? Do you? You clinking, clanking, clattering collection of colligiousness?
Tin Man trembling with fear. He speaks, then reacts as the voice booms out, turns to run.
Junk.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, your honor. You see, a while back we were walking down the yellow brick road and
quiet.
Oh.
The Tin Man runs back to Dorothy. Lion and the Scarecrow as flames pour from the throne and background. The voice speaks. The Scarecrow almost collapses, then moves forward and salams in front of the throne.
And you, Scarecrow, you effrontery ask for a brain.
Scarecrow kneeling in foreground as the other three watch from the background. He speaks, salams.
You billowing bale of bovine fodder.
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, Your Excellency. I mean, your wizardry.
Throne.
Enough!
Scarecrow rises, runs back to Lion, Tin Man, and Dorothy.
And you!
Throne.
Lion.
Scarecrow, Dorothy, Lion, and Tin Man. The Lion groans with fear as he comes slowly forward.
Oh!
Throne. Lion tries to speak, faints, and falls back. The Lion falls to the floor. Dorothy and the others run forward to him.
Oh!
Scarecrow and Dorothy bending over Lion. Dorothy reacts, turns, and speaks as she looks toward the throne off stage in foreground.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, frightening him like that when he came to you for help.
Throne.
Silence!
The four, Dorothy and Scarecrow, sit down as they react to Oz's voice.
Whippersnapper.
Throne.
The benevolent Oz has every intention of granting.
Scarecrow and Dorothy bending over Lion. The Lion revives, sits up, speaks. Dorothy starts to pull him up.
Your request?
What's that? What'd he say?
Oh, come on.
Huh? What'd he say?
Dorothy helps the Lion to his feet. The four of them listen as Oz speaks.
But first, you must prove yourselves worthy by performing a small task.
Throne.
Bring me the broomstick of the witch.
The four, trembling with fear, the Tin Man speaks.
Of the West.
But if we do that, we'll have to kill her to get it.
Throne.
Bring me the broomstick, and I'll grant you your request.
The trembling four, the Lion starts to speak.
Now go!
But what if she kills us first?
I
Throne.
said go!
The four, the Lion jumps with fright. The four standing in front of the throne in the background. Camera pans left with the Lion as he runs out of the throne room into the corridor. Shooting down the length of the corridor, the Lion comes running forward toward camera. Camera pans left with him as he dives through window to exit. fade out, fade in. Trucking shot of weird trees of the haunted forest pans down to signpost. Haunted forest, witch's castle, 1 mile. I'd turn back if I were you. Dorothy, Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion walking through the forest. They walk forward. Camera trucks ahead of them. They stop. Look at the signpost. Dorothy, Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man looking at the sign. Lion reads, nods, turns to background. Tin Man and Scarecrow stop him. The others shake their head. Camera trucks back as they walk forward again. Lion growling. They react to noise off screen.
I'd turn back if I were you.
2 owls on a limb of tree. Dorothy, Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man react. Lion runs to background. Scarecrow and Tin Man catch him, carrying him forward. He cries. 2 crows on a limb of tree. Dorothy and group, they speak. Lion hands spray to Dorothy. Scarecrow takes the spray, throws it off screen right.
From now on, we're on enemy ground. You should have something to protect yourself with.
She can have my witch remover.
Does it work?
No, but it's wonderful for threatening witch.
Oh.
Oh, here, give me that thing.
Spray hits the ground, then vanishes. Dorothy and group react. Speak. Net flies out of Lion's hand. All react.
Oh, did you see that?
Oh, look out.
You know something?
Lion and Scarecrow.
I believe there are spooks around here.
Dorothy and Tin Man.
Well, that's ridiculous. Spooks? Well, that's just
Lion and Scarecrow.
silly.
Don't you believe in spooks?
Dorothy and group. Tin Man goes up out of scene. Others react.
No. Why only... Oh.
Oh, Tin Man! Oh!
Dorothy, Lion, Scarecrow watching Tin Man. He falls to the ground in foreground. Dorothy and Scarecrow run forward. Help him.
Oh!
Oh, are you all right?
Lion, his eyes closed tight, speaks.
I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do.
Image of Lion and Crystal, witch and winged monkeys looking into Crystal. Image of Lion fades out. Camera pans left as witch runs around, goes to winged monkeys. She speaks to them. Camera trucks forward. Winged monkeys fly out. Others flying through in background. Camera trucks back.
Do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do.
Oh, you'll believe in even more than that before I've finished with you. Take your army to the haunted forest and bring me that girl and her dog. Do what you like with the others, but I want her alive and unharmed. They'll give you no trouble, I promise you that. I've sent a little insect on ahead to take the fight out of them. Take special care of those ruby slippers. I want those most of all. Now fly, fly! Bring me that girl and her slippers. Fly, fly, fly!
Dorothy, Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion walking forward through haunted forest. Lion yells. Lion growling. Jitterbug on his shoe. He looks down at it, speaks. Camera trucks back. Tin Man slaps the bug away.
What's that? What's that? Take it away! Take it away! Take it away!
Hold still. Hold still.
Scarecrow, Dorothy, Tin Man, and Lion. Dorothy jumps as Jitterbug bites her leg. Tin Man speaks. All start forward. Tin Man yells. Dorothy takes Bug off his neck. Bug bites Scarecrow. He jumps in the air, falls to the ground, jumps up again. Camera pans the 4 to right. They react to quivering trees and noise. Camera trucks back. Dorothy and others tremble and move about as they sing.
Oh, something bit me too.
Now, come on. You're acting silly.
Oh, come on now, everybody.
Did you hear what I just heard?
That noise didn't come from any ordinary bird.
It may just be a cricket or a critter in the trees.
It's giving me the jitters in the joints around my knees.
Scarecrow and Tin Man. Camera pans to right to Lion and Dorothy each sing.
Oh, I think I see a Jick-Jick. He's fuzzy and he's furry. I haven't got a brain, but I thought I oughta worry.
I haven't got a heart, but I got the palpitation.
As monarch of the forest, I don't like the situation.
Are you gonna stand around and let them fill us full of horror?
I'd like to roar him down, but I think I lost my roarer.
Dorothy, Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man running around the tree, quivering. Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion, and Dorothy huddled together, looking off stage.
It's a who's
It's a who's?
It's a what's this?
It's a what's
Who's that?
Who's that?
What's that?
Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion, and Dorothy. Dorothy steps forward, sings, camera pans right as she dances back near Lion.
Who's that? Who's that hiding in the treetop? It's that rascal, the jitterbug. Should you catch him buzzing around you, keep away from the jitterbug. Oh, the bats.
Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion, and Dorothy. Dorothy singing, camera pans, trucks back as all dance.
And the bees and the breeze in the trees have a terrible, horrible buzz. But the bats and the bees and the breeze in the trees couldn't do what the jitterbug does. So be careful of that rascal. Keep away from
The jitterbug.
Jitterbug.
Oh, the jitter.
The jitterbug.
Oh, the bug. Oh, the jitter.
bug,
Bugaboo.
Lion runs over by tree. Tree catches hold of Lion's tail. Scarecrow runs in, releases Lion. Tree grabs Scarecrow. He finally gets free. Camera pans left as Scarecrow runs over to Dorothy, held by another tree. Tin Man starts to chop a tree. Limb of tree hits him over the head. Tin Man staggers, throws axe off screen. Lion enters. Camera trucks as the four dance.
In a Twitter.
in the
throat.
throat.
Oh, the critters got me dancing on 1,000 toes.
There she blows.
Dorothy and group dancing, trees of the forest moving in rhythm, Lion and Tin Man dancing, Lion and Tin Man dancing, Tin Man, Lion, Dorothy, and Scarecrow dancing, the four dancing, the army of winged monkeys flying over haunted forest, Dorothy and group dancing, look up, off screen, react, the army of winged monkeys flying over haunted forest, Dorothy and group react, run to background. The winged monkeys fly down into forest, camera pans right as they fly down near Dorothy and group running to background. The winged monkeys landing, run out at right. Shooting down as the winged monkeys land, Dorothy and group exit, far background. The winged monkeys capturing the group, Dorothy runs out right. The winged monkeys running after Dorothy, camera pans right. Dorothy runs forward, two winged monkeys after her, they exit right foreground. Tin Man swinging axe at the winged monkeys.
Go away now.
Winged monkeys tromping on the Scarecrow.
Help! Help!
Lion in center of group of monkeys, he doubles his fist, speaks. Monkey in tree hits him over the head with an axe.
Why, all foul, foul.
Two winged monkeys running to background with Dorothy. They swoop up into the air, exit upper background. Toto runs forward, looks up off screen, barks. Two winged monkeys carrying Dorothy flying to right over haunted forest. Toto barking, winged monkey picks him up. Camera pans right as he flies out with Toto. Army of winged monkeys flying to the right over the haunted forest. The winged monkeys tearing Scarecrow apart. Scarecrow yells. The winged monkeys exit right. Tin Man and Lion enter. Camera trucks forward on them as Lion and Tin Man try to put Scarecrow together.
Help! Help! Help!
Oh, well, what happened to you?
They tore my legs off and they threw them over there. And then they took my chest out and they threw it over there.
Oh, well, that's you all over.
Sure knocked the stuffings out of you, didn't they?
Don't stand there talking. Put me together. We've got to find Dorothy.
Now, let's see. This goes. Oh, I wish I were better at puzzles.
Wait a minute. This is the left one. He walks bad enough already.
Oh, poor Dorothy. We may never see her again.
Who do you suppose they were? And where did they take her? A fine thing to go to pieces at a time like this.
Now, don't fret.
Oh, dear, dear.
We'll get you together.
Toto in Witch's lap. Camera trucks back. Witch rises. Nico standing at the right. Witch puts Toto in basket. Dorothy at left foreground, crying. Witch turns to Dorothy, speaks to her. Nico carries Toto to background. Dorothy goes over to Nico.
What a nice little dog. And you, my dear, what an unexpected pleasure. It's so kind of you to visit me in my loneliness.
Dorothy reacts, turns, speaks to Witch. Camera turns forward on them. Camera pans left as Witch crosses to Nico, speaks to him.
What are you going to do with my dog? Give him back to me.
All in good time, my little pretty. All in good time.
Oh, please give me back my dog.
Certainly, certainly, when you give me those slippers.
But the Good Witch of the North told me not to.
Very well. Throw that basket in the river and drown him.
Dorothy, crying, speaks to Witch, then steps up on step. Witch looks down at slippers on Dorothy's feet.
No, 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 here. You can have your old slippers, but give me back Toto.
That's a good little girl. I knew you'd see reason.
Slippers on Dorothy's feet, the hands of the witch reach in, begin to tremble. Witch jumps back. Dorothy reacts. Witch looks at her, hands.
Oh, ah!
I'm sorry. I didn't do it. Can I still have my dog?
No! Fool that I am. I should have remembered. Those slippers will never come off as long as
Dorothy reacts, speaks.
you're alive.
What are you going to do?
Witch looks up off screen, speaks.
What do you think I'm going to do? But that's not what's worrying me. It's how to do it. Oh, these things must be done delicately.
Toto sticks his head out of the basket.
Or you hurt the spell.
Witch and Dorothy, Nico standing by table in background. Toto jumps out of basket, runs outdoor in background. Dorothy speaks to Toto. Witch turns on Nico. He runs out in background.
Run, Toto, run!
Oh, catch him, you fool!
Toto running forward, down steps, Nico after him. Camera pans down to left with Toto. Dorothy at window, looking down off screen. Witch comes forward to her. Toto runs forward over drawbridge as bridge starts up. Toto on edge of drawbridge looks down off screen. Toto on edge of drawbridge, guards run forward. Carrying spears, Toto jumps. Guards yell. Toto jumps down among rocks.
Run, Toto, run!
Guards throwing spears off screen, all yelling. Toto running to background. Spears fall around him. Toto runs up among rocks in background.
Run, Toto, run!
Dorothy, crying, speaks.
Got away! He got away!
Dorothy and Witch, camera trucks forward on them. Witch speaks to Dorothy. Camera trucks as Witch hurries to background.
Oh, which is more than you will. Drat you and your dog. You've been more trouble to me than you're worth, one way or another. But it'll soon be over now.
Witch picks up huge hourglass, turns it over, speaks.
Do you see that? That's how much longer you've got to be alive. And it isn't
Dorothy, crying.
long, my pretty. It isn't long.
Witch looks off screen, speaks. Camera pans as she runs to background.
I can't wait forever to get those shoes.
Dorothy, crying, exits left. Dorothy, camera pans her left. She crosses, looks at hourglass. Toto jumping down rocky edge of mountains. Toto barking. Toto runs forward, looks off screen, barks, exits left, foreground. Exterior haunted forest. The lion and the Tin Man put the Scarecrow back together. They speak, then react. Look off to right as they hear Toto barking off screen.
There. Well, now that's the best we can do without any pins.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm all right. We must worry about Dorothy.
But how can we find her? We don't even know where she is. Look, there's...
Toto comes running forward through forest. Camera pans him left to the Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow.
Toto! Where's he coming from?
Toto barks at the three, off screen, in foreground. Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man react, speak.
Why don't you see? He's come to take us.
The Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion react, rise. Toto barks, leads them as they run down trail to right background. Camera pans with them.
To Dorothy!
Oh.
Come on, fellows!
Interior tower room, close on the hourglass on the table. Camera pulls back to reveal Dorothy standing by the table as she watches the sand run through the glass. She looks about desperately. The Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion make their way over rocky hillside. Toto barks as he waits for them. Toto makes his way over the top of the rocks, barks, exits out to right. The Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow struggling up the rocks. The Tin Man slips. The Tin Man slips off the side of the rocks, hangs to the Lion's tail to keep from falling. The Scarecrow tries to help him.
Oh, I...
The Tin Man hanging to the lion's tail. They speak. Scarecrow tries to get up to help them both.
I hope my strength holds out.
I hope your tail holds out. Oh,
The hourglass, more sand in the bottom. Interior tower room. Dorothy watching the hourglass. Camera pans with her as she runs to the door, tries it, then runs to another door, finds that locked. Also, camera trucks forward slightly as she sobs, then turns and comes slowly forward as the camera pulls back to left with her. She begins to sing. Camera pans her right as she sits, sobbing by the crystal of the witch.
Someday I'll wake and rub my eyes, and in that land beyond the skies you'll find me.
Toto makes his way over the top of the rocks and exits out to right. The lion's head appears, followed by that of the Tin Man and Scarecrow. They look off screen to foreground. Lion points, speaks.
What's that? What's that?
Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow peering over the rocks. They speak. Lion reacts as he watches down off screen to foreground.
That's the castle of the Wicked Witch. Dorothy's in that awful place.
oh, I hate to think of her in there. We've got to get her out.
Don't cry now. We haven't got the oil can with us, and you've been squeaking enough as it is.
Who's them? Who's them?
The witch's winkies march about in the castle courtyard. Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow peering over the rocks. They speak. The lion tries to turn back, but others grab him, push him forward.
I've got a plan on how to get in there.
Fine, he's got a plan.
And you're going to lead us.
Yeah? Me?
Yes, you.
I gotta get out of here.
That's right.
All right, I'll go in there for Dorothy. Wicked witch or no wicked witch, guards or no guards, I'll tear him apart. I may not come out alive, but I'm going in there. There's only one thing I want you fellas to do.
What's that?
Talk me out of it.
No, you don't.
Oh, no.
No, wait a minute.
No, you don't either. Neither.
Up.
No.
Hourglass, interior tower room.
Dorothy sobbing against the witch's throne. She cries out. Camera pulls back to the right to enter the crystal. Auntie M's image appears as she calls for Dorothy. Dorothy reacts, looks into the crystal. Auntie M fades out and witch fades in. She mocks Dorothy. Camera trucks forward to close up of the witch, then up to left to Dorothy as she draws away from the crystal, sobs.
I'm frightened. I'm frightened, Auntie Em. I'm frightened.
Dorothy, where are you? It's me. It's Auntie M. We're trying to find you. Where are you?
I'm here in Oz, Auntie Em. I'm locked up in the witch's castle and I'm trying to get home to you, Auntie Em. Oh, Auntie Em, don't go away. I'm frightened. Come back. Come back.
Auntie M, come back. I'll give you Auntie M, my pretty.
Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man and Lion moving along among the rocks. They stop. Camera starts forward. Toto barks. Scarecrow quiets Toto. Then camera pans up over the Scarecrow. Lion and Tin Man as three winky guards appear over the rocks in background. Camera booms back as they start forward toward the three, who are whispering together.
Shh, Toto, be quiet.
Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man whispering together. The lion looks around, sees the winkies in back of them. Camera booms back as the lion tries to speak, but it is speechless with fright. The guards jump forward, seize the three as they disappear behind the rocks. Legs and arms seen as they fight. Close-up hourglass. Interior tower room. Dorothy trying to open one of the doors. Camera trucks forward. Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion enter up from behind the rocks. All are dressed in Winky Guard uniforms. They speak.
Whew, that wasn't my plan, but something happened, didn't it?
You put up a great fight, Lion.
Yeah.
I don't know what we would have done without you.
I must have bitten you a couple of times.
Winky Guards marching about in the castle courtyard. Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow watching from the rocks. They speak, come forward behind the rocks as the camera trucks back with them.
Come on, I've got another idea.
Do you think it'll be polite dropping in like this?
Come on, come on.
The Winkies marching into the castle. The Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow join at the end of the line, the Lion in the rear, as they march toward the castle. The Lion has trouble keeping his tail under the uniform. Camera trucks forward as they enter the castle, Toto following. The drawbridge is pulled up. Interior entrance hall of the castle. Camera shooting down from the high setup as the Winkies march into the hall. Camera booms down on the file to Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion, who are at the end of the file. Close-up hourglass. Interior tower room. Dorothy seated on steps near the crystal. She sobs. Interior hallway long shot. The Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man duck back into the recess in the wall. The rest of the Winkies continue on to exit.
Where do we go now?
Yeah.
Toto barking on steps. He turns, starts up them. Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow. Scarecrow points off stage, speaks. He exits.
There.
Toto runs up the stairs from the hall as the Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man run forward from the background and start up the stairs after Toto. Toto runs in from the left. Camera pans right slightly under as he runs to the door and starts to scratch at it. The three rescuers enter. Camera trucks forward as they speak.
Wait, we better make sure. Dorothy, are you in there?
Interior tower room. Dorothy standing by window. She reacts to hearing Lion off stage. Camera pans, trucks with her as she runs to the door, yells.
It's us.
Yes, it's me. She's locked me in.
Dorothy at door. She speaks to the others off screen.
Oh, I knew you'd get here in time.
Interior hallway. The Lion speaks to Scarecrow and Tin Man as they move excitedly about.
Listen, fellows, it's her. We gotta get her out. Open this door.
Interior tower room. Dorothy standing by door. She reacts as she hears the three outside the door.
Open the door. Open.
The three outside the door push about madly, then stop their efforts as the Scarecrow and the Tin Man bawl out the Lion. He pouts.
The door. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door.
Don't push.
Stop pushing.
Oh, I was only trying to help. Oh.
Interior tower room. Dorothy at the door. She pleads to the three on the outside, looks off stage to the hourglass.
Oh, hurry. Please hurry.
Hourglass. Very little sand left in the top.
The hourglass is almost in.
Dorothy at the door. She speaks to those on the other side.
See.
Stand back.
Interior hallway. The Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow remove their Winky outfits. The Tin Man starts to chop in the door. Interior room. Dorothy steps back from the door as it is chopped in. Camera pans right. Interior hallway. The Tin Man chopping the door down. Interior room. Dorothy anxiously watching. She looks at the hourglass off stage. Hourglass. Not much sand remaining. Dorothy reacts. Interior hallway. Scarecrow and Lion in the foreground watch as the Tin Man breaks the door in. Interior room. Dorothy reacts, rushes to left. Camera pans. Interior hallway. Dorothy rushes out of the door of the room, greets the Tin Man, Lion, Scarecrow, and Toto. Camera trucks forward. They rush out to left. Pan left.
Oh, Toto! Toto!
Did they hurt you?
Lion, darling, I knew you'd come.
Oh, Dorothy.
I knew you would.
Hurry, we've got no time to lose.
Interior entrance hall. Camera shooting up from the side of the stairs. Long shot. Dorothy, Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow enter at the top of the stairs. Camera pans with them as they run down toward the stairs. They rush toward the entrance, but the huge doors swing shut in front of them. The four hammer at the door, then react, turn, and look up to the right foreground as the witch speaks off stage. Camera trucks forward.
Oh!
Going so soon? I wouldn't
Witch and Nico looking down from the top of the stairs.
hear of it. Why, my little part,
Scarecrow, Tin Man, Dorothy, Lion by the door.
'tis just beginning.
Witch and Nico at the top of stairs. She laughs. Camera pans down to reveal the Winkies rushing into the entrance hall. Scarecrow, Tin Man, Dorothy, and Lion huddled by door. The Lion speaks.
Trapped like mice, rats.
The Winkies advancing. The four huddled by door. Tin Man speaks to Lion, who tries to roar.
Go ahead. Do something. Roar. Roar.
The Winky guards advance with a menacing roar. The four huddled against the door. The Lion reacts, speaks.
What good it'll do us?
Shooting down from the top of the hall, past the witch on the landing in the foreground to the Winkies advancing to the four huddled against the door, the Winkies roar. The witch and Nico look down from the top of the stairs. She yells down to her Winkies.
That's right. Don't hurt them right away. We'll let
Dorothy backed against the door, Toto in her arms, tears flowing down her cheeks.
them think about it a little first.
The Winkies growl as they shove out their spears. Toto in Dorothy's arms, he growls at the Winkies, off stage. Scarecrow looks up off stage.
How does it feel?
What the Scarecrow sees, camera pans up along the rope that holds the huge candelabra up over the hall.
My little visitor?
Scarecrow looking up off stage, camera pans pulls back as he steps over to where the rope is fastened to the wall.
Can you imagine what I'm going to do to you?
The witch picks up the hourglass, hurls it down on stage as she laughs. Full shot of the entrance hall as the hourglass crashes to the floor below, bursts into a cloud of flame and smoke.
Here we go, boys.
The Scarecrow seizes the Tin Man's axe and chops the candelabra rope with it.
Oh!
High angle from above the candelabra as the huge chandelier crashes down on the Winkies below.
Oh!
The witch screams down to her Winkies.
Seize!
Shooting past the Winkies in the foreground as they struggle under the candelabra to the Scarecrow, Lion, Tin Man, and Dorothy as they run out of the hall. Cameras pan left.
Them! Stop them, you fools!
The witch rushes forward down the stairs, yells at her Winkies. Camera pans down her stairs. Then she leads the Winkies out the hall.
They've gotten away! Stop them! Stop them!
Interior corridor. As the witch and the Winkies pass out of the shot, Dorothy and her friends peer out from behind a recess, then run back into the hall as they exit left. The four rush back into the hall. Camera trucks back to the left. They look about. The Scarecrow speaks.
It's no use trying the doors again. Which room is it?
The Winkies running back through the corridor. Dorothy, Scarecrow, Lion, Tin Man react. As they hear the Winkies approaching, camera pans left as they start up the stairs.
They're coming back.
Oh!
Oh, upstairs, quickly!
Go on.
The witch comes running back into the hall, her Winkies right behind her. She gives them orders. The guards separate.
Here they go. Oh, now we've got them. Half, you go that way. Half, you go that way.
Camera shooting up to the Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow just disappearing at the top of the stairs.
Hurry, hurry, go.
The witch hits her guards with her broomstick in an effort to speed them up. Camera pans left slightly as they rush up the stairs.
Go, go.
Exterior battlements. Scarecrow, Dorothy, Lion, Tin Man run down the steps from the tower in the background. They run along the battlement exit left. The foursome running forward among the battlement. They stop, yell, then camera booms right with them as they run along toward the second tower. They stop. Dorothy screams.
Where do they go now?
This way, come on!
A group of Winkies coming out of the tower at the head of the steps in the background. They roar menacingly. Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion, and Dorothy run along the battlement to the left as camera booms with them. The other group of Winkies appears in the other tower. They mumble, charge forward. One group of Winkies charges down the steps in the foreground as we see the other group come forward along the battlement in the background. Camera booms to left. In hall, Scarecrow, Dorothy, Tin Man, and Lion rush down towards the hall to the background, are confronted by Winkies. Dorothy screams. More Winkies rush in from left foreground, trapping the four. The four, as they react, they look to offstage to the foreground. Dorothy screams. They turn, run back. In tower. The four men run to the left as the Winkies pour in from right. To other Winkies enter from left. Dorothy screams as they are captured. Camera pans right as they back up against the table in the foreground. Winkies surround them. The witch enters in the background. Come forward to her Winkies in the foreground. Camera pulls back as she comes up to Scarecrow, Dorothy, and the Tin Man. She speaks to them.
Well, ring around the rosy, pocket full of spears. Thought you'd be pretty foxy, didn't you? Well, I'm going to start in on you right here, one after the other.
Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow, Lion, hiding behind the Tin Man, all tremble with fear.
And the last to go will see the first three go before her. And your mangy little dog, too.
Witch smiles as she looks up on stage. Camera pans up as she holds her broom up to the torch on the wall. The four react with fear. The broomstick catches fire. Camera pans down to the witch as she lowers it, speaks.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Lion, Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow all react as the broom is thrust into the scene and catches the Scarecrow's arm on fire. He shouts. Dorothy screams. Dorothy picks up a bucket as camera pulls back, throws water on Scarecrow.
No, no, no!
Oh!
Help! I'm burning! I'm burning! Help! I'm burning! Help! Help! Help!
Dorothy throwing water at Scarecrow. Some of it hits the witch in the face. The man standing at the left with the lion.
Help!
The water hits the witch in the face. The witch screams as the water hits her. Tin Man, Lion, Dorothy, and Scarecrow look at her. The Lion, Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow watch the witch as she screams and melts away. Camera shooting past the Winkies in the foreground. The witch curses as she disappears. Finally, only her cloak and hat remain on the floor. Her voice fades away.
Oh, you cursed brat! Look at what you've done. I'm melting. Oh, what a world, what a world. Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness? Oh, look out, I'm going. Oh.
Lion, Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow looking down, off stage, amazed. Shooting down the witch's cloak and hat smoldering on the floor, Toto enters from the left and sniffs at them. Camera pulls back slightly as Nico enters, growls. Leader of the Winkies speaks to the four offstage in foreground, other Winkies in background.
She's dead? You've killed her!
Lion, Tin Man, Dorothy, and Scarecrow react. Dorothy speaks, points to the Scarecrow.
I didn't mean to kill her. Really, I didn't. It's just that he was on fire.
The four standing in the front of the Winkies, the leader turns to the others and speaks. The Winkies kneel as they hail Dorothy.
Hail to Dorothy, the Wicked Witch is dead! Hail, hail to Dorothy, the Wicked Witch is dead!
Dorothy with Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow in back of her, she speaks.
You mean you're all happy about it?
The leader raises up his hand, speaks to Dorothy offstage in foreground, other Winkies in back of him.
Very happy. Now she won't be able to hit us with a broom.
Dorothy with Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow in back of her. Dorothy turns to Tin Man.
Anymore.
The broom!
The leader gives the broom to Dorothy as Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man react with joy. Camera trucks forward as Dorothy speaks to them. The Winkies speak. They sing. Dorothy and her friends dance about, then exit out to background.
May we have it?
Please, and take it with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Now we can go back to the wizard and tell him that the Wicked Witch is dead.
The Wicked Witch is dead. The Wicked Witch is dead. The Wicked Witch is dead. Hail, hail, the Wicked Witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the Wicked Witch. Hail, hail, the Wicked Witch is dead. Hail, hail, the Wicked Witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the Wicked Witch.
In Emerald City, streets are thronged with people. The procession enters from background, led by a band.
Hail, hail, the Wicked Witch is dead.
The band marching along the crowd streets, they turn, exit out to the left foreground. Ding dong,
The witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the Wicked Witch. Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead.
The procession comes forward through the crowd streets, surrounded by flower girls are Dorothy, the Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow. The Scarecrow is carrying the witch's broomstick.
Wake up,
You sleepyhead. Rub your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up, the Wicked Witch is dead.
Camera trucks back with the Tin Man, Lion, Dorothy, and the Scarecrow as they come forward through the singing crowds. They wave, smile, etc.
She's gone where the goblins go below, let's open.
The procession passes girls lined up in front of the palace. The four pass along in front of them at left. All wave greetings.
Friends sing and ring the bells on ding dong, the merry house, singing high.
Full shot of the area in front of the palace. The procession files around in it to the right.
Oh, let them know the Wicked Witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch old.
Camera booms back to the left with the procession as it comes forward.
Witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead.
Camera pans right with the procession as it marches toward the palace. Camera booms around to one of the huge crystals as the Tin Man, Dorothy, Scarecrow, and Lion enter through the palace gates.
Wake up, and rub your eyes. Wake up, the wicked witch is dead. She's gone where the goblins go below, 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 no hope. And up and sing and ring the bells out. Ding dong, the merry-o, ding it high.
Throne room, long shot throne. Oz's voice booms out as the camera pulls back to reveal the Scarecrow, Dorothy, Lion, and Tin Man standing in front of it.
Why, I can't believe my eyes. Why?
The four trembling with fear. Camera pulls back as Dorothy comes forward with the broomstick and places it on the steps to the throne.
Have you come back?
Dorothy.
Please, sir. We've done what you told us. We brought you the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West. We melted her.
Oh?
Throne.
You liquidated her? Very?
Dorothy smiling with the Tin Man, Lion, and the Scarecrow in back of her, also looking pleased. She speaks. They react as Oz speaks.
Resourceful.
Yes, sir. So we'd like you to keep your promise to us, if you please, sir.
Not so fast. Not
Throne.
so fast. I have given you a matter of little thought. Go away and come back tomorrow.
Dorothy with her three friends behind her, she reacts, speaks. The Tin Man and the Lion put in a word for her.
Tomorrow? Oh, but I want to go home now.
You've had plenty of time already.
Yeah.
Throne.
Do not arouse the wrath.
Toto at Dorothy's feet. Camera pans right with him as he runs to a curtain that hangs near the throne steps.
Of the great and powerful Oz. I said come back tomorrow.
The four, Dorothy speaks as she looks off screen to right foreground. Camera pulls back to right to enter the curtain where Toto ran in the background. It shakes as Toto starts to pull it back.
If you were really great and powerful, you'd keep your promises.
Do you promise to criticize the...
Toto pulls back the curtain to reveal the wizard at the controls of the throne apparatus, his back to the camera.
To criticize the great and powerful... you ungrateful creature.
The four react with fear. Scarecrow looks off screen to right, points for Dorothy.
Think yourself lucky that I...
Shooting past the four at the left to the wizard at the controls of the throne apparatus, the four react as they see him after Dorothy calls their attention to him.
Giving you the audience tomorrow instead of...
The wizard at the controls, his back to camera, he speaks into the microphone. He turns, looks off screen to foreground, and sees that the curtain is gone, reacts and turns back to the controls.
20 years from now, the great Oz has spoken.
Shooting past the four at the left to the wizard as he pulls back the curtain. The wizard peers out from behind the curtain. Tin Man, Lion, Dorothy, and Scarecrow react as they look at the wizard. Off screen to right, Dorothy speaks.
Who are you?
The wizard peering out from the curtain. He ducks back out of sight and his voice booms out again.
Oh, I pay no attention. I pay no...
Shooting past the four at the left of the curtain in the background, Dorothy goes over to it and starts to pull it aside.
Attention to the man behind the curtain. Before I lose my temper, the great and powerful Oz.
Dorothy pulls back the curtain to reveal the wizard at the controls. He reacts as he sees Dorothy. Dorothy questions him. The wizard starts to speak into the microphone, then turns weakly back to Dorothy. Camera pulls back slightly as the Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man enter and stand behind Dorothy.
Has spoken.
Who are you?
Well, I'm the great and powerful Wizard of Oz.
You are?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
No, I'm afraid it's true. There's no wizard here except for me.
Dorothy and her three friends react. Camera shooting past the wizard at left. The Scarecrow and Lion speak angrily.
Dad?
Hunk?
You humbug!
Yeah.
Wizard shooting past Dorothy, the Lion and Scarecrow. The wizard speaks.
Yes, well, okay, I'm a humbug.
Oh,
Dorothy, Tin Man, and Scarecrow behind her.
you're a very bad man.
The wizard reacts, speaks humbly.
No, my dear, I'm a very good man, just a bad wizard.
Scarecrow and Dorothy. Scarecrow threatens the wizard off screen.
You better be good enough to send Dorothy back to Kansas.
Wizard shooting past Lion, Dorothy, and Scarecrow in foreground.
Oh, now, don't be angry with me. I'll do something you say. I mean, only just don't shout at me, please. It makes me nervous.
It makes you nervous?
Yes.
Tin Man, Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Lion shooting past the wizard in left foreground.
What about us?
Well,
What about that heart you promised the Tin Man? And the courage that you promised the Cowardly Lion?
Yes,
The Scarecrow's brain.
Wizard shooting past Lion, Dorothy, and Scarecrow in foreground.
Well, but you've got them. You've got all of them.
Tin Man, Scarecrow, Dorothy, and Lion shooting past the wizard in left foreground. The four react, speak together. The Scarecrow moves around to wizard.
Time?
Oh no, we haven't.
You don't get away around us that easily.
Not know how.
Well,
you promised us real things. A real...
Wizard shooting past the Scarecrow at right. The wizard reacts to their demands, starts to speak.
Brain.
A real heart.
Real courage. That's what we want.
You do, boys. You're aiming low. You're not only surprised, but grieve me.
The wizard speaks to Tin Man, Dorothy, Lion, and Scarecrow. The wizard becomes eloquent, steps closer to the Scarecrow.
Why, anybody has a brain. Even very mediocre commodity. Every pulsionless creature that crawls on Earth or slinks through the slimy seas has a brain.
Wizard shooting past the Scarecrow at right.
From a rock-bound coast of Maine to the sun. Oh no. Well, be that as it may, come back. Back where I come from, we have universities, seats of great learning where men can become great thinkers, and when they come out, they think deep thoughts, and with no more brains than you've got. But they do have one thing you haven't got. A diploma.
The wizard reaches back and obtains several diplomas, selecting one and presents it to the Scarecrow as Dorothy, Tin Man, and the Lion look on.
Hold on just a second. My screen's like super small right now. What's going on here? Therefore, by virtue of the authority invested in me by the university's committee and e pluribus unum, I hereby confess upon you the honorary THD.
THD?
Wizard shooting past the Scarecrow at right.
Yeah, that's the Doctor of Theology.
Scarecrow recites the Pythagoras theorem, reacts with joy.
The sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side. Oh, joy! Rapture! I've got a brain!
Wizard, Scarecrow, Dorothy, Tin Man, and Lion. The Scarecrow thanks the wizard. Wizard takes the Lion and leads him forward. Camera trucks back and pans right. The others follow. The wizard pauses on the throne steps, opens a door, and takes out a black bag. Takes a medal from the bag.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Well, you can't. As for you, my fine friend, you're a victim of disorganized thinking. You're under the unfortunate delusion that simply because you run away from danger, you have no courage. You're confusing courage with wisdom. But where I come from, we have men who call themselves heroes. Once a year, they take out their fortitudes out of the mothballs and parade it downtown on the main streets of the city. And they have no more courage than you and I have. But they do have one thing that you haven't got, a medal. Therefore, for meritoriousness.
Lion shooting past the wizard in the foreground as he presents the medal to the beaming lion.
Conduct extraordinary valor, conspicuous bravery against the wicked witch. I award you the Triple Cross.
Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Dorothy watching as the wizard presents the medal to the lion.
Now you are a member of the League of Courage.
The wizard leans forward and kisses the lion. The lion reacts, speaks.
You can have that, dude.
Can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, shucks, folks. I'm speechless.
Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow watch the lion as he beams with joy over his new medal. The wizard turns to the Tin Man, speaks to him.
And as for you, my gallant friend, you want a heart. You don't know how lucky it is to not have one. Hearts will never be practical until they cannot be, until they can be made unbreakable. I could have been a world figure, a power among men, and a successful wizard, but I had not been obstructed by the heart.
But I still want one.
Yes.
Wizard shooting past the Tin Man in left foreground.
But where I come from, there are men who do nothing at all but good deeds. They are called they're called good deed doers. And their hearts are bigger, much bigger than yours. They have one thing that you haven't got, though, a testimonial.
The Tin Man waits as the wizard bends down and gets a heart-shaped watch from his black bag. Camera trucks forward slightly as he presents it to the Tin Man as Dorothy, Lion, and Scarecrow look on.
Therefore, in consideration of your kindness, I take pleasure at all times to present you with this small token of our esteem and affection. And remember my sentiments, my friend.
Wizard shooting past the Tin Man in the left foreground.
That a heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others.
Tin Man shooting past the wizard in right, Dorothy standing at the left. The Tin Man listens to his watch, then holds it up to Dorothy's ear.
Oh, it ticks. Listen.
Yes.
Scarecrow, Lion, Dorothy react as Tin Man shows them the watch. The wizard smiles as he watches them. Lion points to his medal.
Yes.
Look, it ticks.
Read what my medal says.
Insert close-up of medal on the lion's chest reads courage.
Courage.
Interior throne room, Scarecrow, Dorothy, the wizard, and Tin Man admire the lion's medal. Then they ask about Dorothy's request.
Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth?
Oh, they're all wonderful.
Hey, what about Dorothy?
Yes, how about Dorothy?
Yeah. Dorothy's next.
Yes, Dorothy. Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Oh, I don't think there's anything in that black bag for me.
The wizard protests, mumbles as he starts to look into the bag.
Well, no. On the contrary,
The wizard rummages through the bag as Dorothy and the others look on. He finds nothing, so he speaks encouragingly of what he'll do. Camera trucks forward slightly.
Oh, on the here. Well, you forced me into a cataclysmic decision. The only way to get Dorothy back to Kansas is for me to take her there myself.
Dorothy reacts, speaks.
Oh, will you? Could you? Oh, but are you a clever enough wizard
The wizard.
to manage it?
Child, you cut me too quick. I'm an old Kansas man myself, born and
Dorothy is pleased, looks about at the others.
bred in the heart of the wild wilderness. Premier balloonist, par.
Scarecrow, Dorothy, Lion, and Tin Man listening to the wizard.
Excellent miracle of the Wonderland Carnival Company. Until one day, while performing spectacular feats of stratospheric skills no one has ever attempted by civilized man, an unfortunate phenomenon occurred. The balloon failed to return to the fair.
It did?
The wizard.
Yes, and I was floating through space, a man without a continent.
Dorothy.
Weren't you frightened?
Scarecrow, Dorothy, Wizard, Tin Man, and the Lion on the steps near the throne. The wizard speaks as they come forward. Camera pulls back to left as they come forward to door. They pause, then again come forward to the doorway. All react to the wizard's announcement.
Frightened? You're talking to a man who laughed in the face of death, sneered at the doom and chuckled at the catastrophe. I was petrified. Then suddenly the winds changed and the balloon floated me into the heart of this noble city. Here I was instantly acclaimed Oz, the first wizard deluxe.
Oh,
Times being what they were, I accepted the job, retaining my balloon against the advert of some quick getaway. And the balloon, my dear Dorothy, you and I will return to the land of E Pluribus Unum.
Exterior public square, Emerald City. Long shot. The wizard and Dorothy in the basket of balloon. Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion standing on platform with them. People of Oz grouped about them. The wizard speaks to them. As the camera moves forward, the people cheer.
Good people of Oz, this is positively the finest exhibition to be shown. Yes, well, but be that as it may, I, your wizard, Par Adum Delta, am about to embark on a hazardous and technically unexplainable journey into the outer stratosphere.
Wizard and Dorothy in the basket. The wizard speaks to the crowd off screen. Camera pans to the left to enter the Tin Man and Scarecrow, then pans right as the wizard points to the Lion.
To confer, converse, and otherwise hobnob with my brother wizards. And I hereby decree that until that time, if I may return, the Scarecrow, by virtue of his highly superior brain, shall rule in my stead. Assisted by the Tin Man, by virtue of his magnificent heart, and by the Lion, by virtue of his courage. Obey them as you would me, and, well, that's all.
Toto and Dorothy's arm. He barks at something off screen. People cheer off screen.
Thank you.
Oz woman with a cat in her arms. Toto barking in Dorothy's arms. Dorothy in basket of balloon. Toto jumps from her arms. She reacts, starts to climb out. Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion on platform. Wizard in the basket of balloon. Dorothy climbs out, yells.
Oh, come back here, Toto!
Dorothy by the side of the basket. She speaks to the wizard, then runs down from the platform. Lion and Scarecrow scene.
Come back! Oh, wait! Don't go without me! I'll be right back. Toto!
Wizard on balloon platform. Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man standing by. The wizard protests as the balloon starts to rise.
Stop that dog!
This is highly irregular procedure. This is absolutely unprecedented.
Oh, help me! The balloon's going up.
The wizard rises slowly in the basket of the balloon as the Oz people watch. Scarecrow and Tin Man try to hold the balloon down. Dorothy runs up on the platform, the Lion following. She yells to the wizard. He shouts back. The Oz people wave goodbye. The balloon exits to the left foreground.
Ruined my exit.
Help!
Oh, come back! Don't go without me! Please come back!
I can't come back. I don't know how it works.
Aww.
Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye, Oz.
Goodbye. Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion grouped about Dorothy. She speaks as they ask her to stay with them. Then the Scarecrow reacts, points up off screen.
Oh, now I'll never get home.
Stay with us then, Dorothy. We all love you. We don't want you to go.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but this could never be like Kansas. Auntie Em must have stopped wondering what happened to me by now. Oh, Scarecrow, what am I going to do?
Look, here's someone who can help you.
A group of Oz men react as they look up off screen. They bow out of the scene. Suddenly, Glinda appears in the scene. Camera trucks back to left over heads of the bowing Oz people as she moves down the steps and up onto the platform to Dorothy, Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow. Dorothy, Glinda, and Scarecrow on the platform. Dorothy speaks with Glinda. Camera pulls back to enter Tin Man and Lion. Tin Man speaks.
Oh, will you help me? Can you help me?
You don't need to be helped any longer. You've always had the power to go back to Kansas.
I have?
Then why didn't you tell her before?
Because she wouldn't have believed me. She had to learn it for herself.
What have you learned, Dorothy?
Dorothy, Lion behind her, she speaks.
Well, I think that it wasn't enough just to want to see Uncle Henry and Auntie Em, and it's that if I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look any further than my own backyard. Because if it isn't there, I never really lost it to begin with. Is that right?
Tin Man, Dorothy, Glinda, Scarecrow, and Lion on platform. They speak. Glinda points down to Dorothy's slippers.
That's all it is.
But that's so easy. I should have thought of it for you.
I should have felt it in my heart.
No, she had to find it out for herself. Now those magic slippers will take you home in 2 seconds.
Oh.
Dorothy and Glinda, Scarecrow in background. Dorothy reacts, speaks, turns about, begins to cry as she realizes she will lose her 3 friends. Camera pans her left to Tin Man. She wipes his tears away, gives him his oil can, and then kisses him. Then camera trucks forward slightly as she says goodbye to the Lion. Pans right slightly as she turns to the Scarecrow, hugs him, then steps back to Glinda as camera pans slightly.
Toto too?
Toto too.
Oh, now?
Whenever you wish.
Oh dear, that's too wonderful to be true. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to say goodbye. I love you all too. Goodbye, Tin Man. Oh, don't cry. You'll rust so dreadfully. Here's your oil can. Goodbye.
Now I know I've got a heart, because it's breaking.
Oh, goodbye, Lion. I know it isn't right, but I'm gonna miss the way you used to holler for help before you found your courage.
Well, I wouldn't have ever found it if it hadn't been for you.
And Scarecrow, I think I'll miss you most of all.
Are you ready now?
Yes. Say goodbye, Toto.
Dorothy waves Toto's paw at the Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow, then speaks to Glinda. Glinda instructs her.
Yes, I'm ready now.
Then close your eyes and tap your heels together 3 times.
Dorothy's heels as she clicks them together 3 times. Dorothy and Glinda. Glinda instructs her, waves her wand. Dorothy closes her eyes. Camera trucks into big close-up of Dorothy. She speaks. The scene darkens behind her.
And think to yourself, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
The Munchkins waving goodbye from the gates of the Munchkin village.
There's no place like
The witch laughing.
home. There's no place.
The wizard at the control panel in the throne room. He turns, looks off screen to foreground, reacts, pulls the curtain.
Like home. There's no place like home.
Glinda leading the Munchkins in the dance, Munchkins in the background.
There's no place like home.
The Tin Man breaking in the door of the witch's tower room.
There's no place like home.
Hickory's wind machine on the Gail farm.
There's no place like home.
Horse looking out from stall. Camera pans slightly.
Cow, camera pans slightly. Chickens moving about. Auntie Em offers forward a plate of crullers. Dorothy lying on pillow. She mumbles. Aunt Em's hands enter. Put cloth on Dorothy's head.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Dorothy, it's me, Aunt Em.
Dorothy lying on bed, mumbling. She opens her eyes, looks around room. Camera tucks back, showing Aunt Em seated on edge of bed. Uncle Henry standing by. Professor Marvel enters at window, speaks. Dorothy reacts, looks at him.
Wake up, honey.
No place like home. There's no place like home. No.
Dorothy. Dorothy, dear. It's Aunt Em, darling.
Oh, Auntie Em, it's you.
Yes, darling.
Hello there. Anybody home? I just dropped by because I heard there was a little girl got caught in a big well.
Dorothy, camera shooting down past Aunt Em at right.
Seems she's all right.
Yeah.
Dorothy lying in bed, Aunt Em seated by her. Uncle Henry standing by, Professor at window. Dorothy raises up on her elbow, speaks. Aunt Em puts her back on pillow, then raises and exits. Hunk, Hickory, and Zeke enter, kneel beside bed. Camera trucks forward. They speak to Dorothy. Camera pulls back as Zeke and others exit right. Aunt Em re-enters, sits by Dorothy, holds her hand. Camera trucks back. Zeke and others standing at right.
She got quite a bump on her head. We kind of thought there for a minute she was going to leave us.
Oh?
I did leave you, Uncle Henry. That's just the trouble. And I tried to get back for days and days.
There. Lie quiet now. You just had a bad dream.
No.
Sure. Remember me? Your pal Hunk.
And me, Hickory?
Couldn't forget my face, could ya?
No, but it wasn't a dream. It was a place, and you were there.
Oh?
But you couldn't have been, could you?
Oh, we dream lots of silly things when we...
No, it's Em. This was a real, truly live place. And I remember that some of it wasn't very nice.
Dorothy, camera shooting down past Aunt Em.
But most of it was beautiful. But just the same, all I kept saying to everybody was, I want to go home. And they sent me home.
Dorothy lying in bed, Aunt Em sitting by her, Professor at window, Uncle Henry, Zeke, Hunk, and Hickory standing by. They laugh. Toto jumps up on bed. Dorothy takes Toto in her arms.
Doesn't anybody believe me?
Of course we believe you, Dorothy.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home.
Dorothy holding Toto in her arms. Camera shooting past Aunt Em at right foreground. Dorothy looks around room and speaks. Tears come to her eyes. Aunt Em rises, puts her arm around Dorothy.
Home. And this is my room. And you're all here. And I'm not going to leave here ever again. Because I love you all. And oh, Auntie Em, there's no place like home.
Fade out. Fade in. The end. Fade out.
Woo!
Yeah,
Wow.
guys.
I bow down. I've done it.
Fantastic job.
Yeah, everyone.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Very good.
That was
Man,
awesome.
that one-
V, way to
That was
just
pretty
jump
cool.
in on your first time with us and just roll with it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
It was
you.
so good, little Leigh.
I'm not little.
It's an expression.
No, I know.
But yeah, that was fun. That was a really, really fun one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, and Vicki, I throw a mean Halloween party and I could use a wicked witch. Well played.
Yeah, that was an awesome witch, Vicki. Everybody did
That
awesome.
was
You
really
guys
good.
you guys brought out the characters. It was really cool.
Mhm. Amazing.
That was
Lots
good.
of fun.
Yeah.
All of you guys did great.
I agree. Yeah.
Agreed.
I agree.
Uh,
And nice singing, everyone. And holy
Yeah, dude.
voice, man. Yeah.
I know, and to all the viewing audience out there, no, there was no choreographing. I mean, that was just all on the spot. I mean, could you guys believe it? It was amazing. We had it dialed.
Perfectly timed and
Yeah,
everything.
Yes.
Funny when everybody sang at once.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one moment when everyone sang at once. That was
Chaos.
Yeah.
Total chaos.
Pure melody. That was like, yeah, music.
Harmony through my
Oh, man.
ears.
Everyone had their own melody.
Oh,
V,
that
she
was
sang
fun.
really good.
Mhm.
It's interesting to see how script writing has evolved from
Oh,
like
yeah.
what this is to like where it is now. Like all these camera directions is like not a thing that people do ever.
Well, not
anymore.
it just the direction in general, like saying this person's going to speak and then this person's about to speak.
Right.
You know, it's like they just speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that right in the line, right in the middle of the line. Sorry.
Yeah,
I felt so redundant.
Yeah.
it reads
Me
out
too.
everything that's about to happen, goes past the lines that are there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, this is going to happen in a minute. Then he's going to do this.
They predict the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting too how like I mean as descriptive as the actions were, like when you watch the movie, I mean they created this crazy world, right? And all the characters are so colorful and bright and vibrant and like, you know, just all the munchkins, all the little details from everything. And like it doesn't really go that into detail into any of that. Like it goes into detail about how they set it and where the camera moves and stuff. But like it really left that art department open to create this insane world, you know?
Very true.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is a book, so I'm assuming that they may have read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They probably got a lot of the details from there.
I read
Yeah, but
that a
there-
long time ago. I hardly remember it, but I remember it was good. And I
Yeah,
like
there-
got all confused during like that jitterbug scene because that was not in the movie at all, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Totally. You can find
Improv.
online. There's very, very few videos, but from like a witness camera, not like they filmed it, but like from a camera observing the whole situation of them, like really grainy footage dancing and stuff in the middle of the fields doing that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, it's crazy thinking about too, like these old movies, like when they used to cut and edit this, it was like cutting the film and like taping it back together. I mean, even like, all the everything back then, you know, like even music, you know, like somebody would miss a drum beat and you're like, all right, dude, let's cut it and let's get in there and cut it
Go
and
and
tape
do
it
it
back
again.
together.
And this was one of the first like Technicolor films, so they had like 3 strips of film going through the camera, like at the same time, like 3 color ones going. So
That's neat.
I know. And then like, it was just like, you could still watch it. Growing up in our generation where color was what it is and everything. And that's just how we evolved with movies. Like when you go from the black and white in this movie to how explosive the color comes onto the screen. Even now it's just amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And I was impressed. Even they have the pacing in the writing that like once they find one character, boom, that almost leads right into them finding the next character and find the next character. Like, so it's like, it's going. I'm impressed with that.
It's the
Fluid
ultimate
motion
hero's.
of script writing.
It's the ultimate hero's journey too. I never read that book.
Mm-hmm.
It follows it exactly. You know?
Yeah.
It almost makes me want to read Twister as a group.
I love that movie too.
I haven't heard of that actually.
Oh, it's a
Really?
pretty good movie.
Hey, oh, you need to
That
watch
was like
Twister.
it was like a
You do.
subshoot of
You'll
this
love it.
movie, to be honest, right?
A little bit.
They like wrote this, or they like came up with that idea based on this movie, right? And then they were like, I wonder what happened
I'm
during
write
that
that down.
tornado. I'm just messing with you. That's not.
I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, right. Oh. What, like Bill Paxton? Bill Paxton was literally driving down the road when this tornado picked Dorothy up, and you know.
Yeah, he saw a house going. He's like, I'm going to chase that.
Yeah, sure, right there.
Storm chasers.
Man.
There.
Awesome read. Everybody's doing great, man. This is like really coming together.
Yeah.
And just so much fun every time.
So much fun.
Really is.
Any other Oz related thoughts before we go around the gallery?
I just had one thought on what you were saying about the way the script is written and all the detailed instructions for camera work and stuff like that. And yet, if you look carefully at the scene is most obvious to me is the Scarecrow when he begins to dance. And there's some detailed instruction in there the movie, he put a lot more into that. And there's been a lot of commentary that's been filmed and stuff about how they developed all that choreography. And of course, the guy that did it had that loose limbed, dropping around type dance thing down to just a jewel. But it, all of that detail is not in the script. That was developed independently, following from what that script told them they wanted the scene to look like. But it's amazing what they come out with.
Absolutely. And one of our great Munchkins is going to have to go to Munchkin bed. So we'll say goodnight to Jaime.
Night.
Night.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jaime, for all that you brought.
Yeah, it was
Another
fun.
thing
Appreciate
too
it.
is like with Oz, right? Like a floating head back in like 1930, man. I mean,
Yeah, like all of the we all do CGI now because modern technology. But back then they had to build the sets and everything had to be real. So Judy Garland, she's the person who played Dorothy, had to walk around. It was like she was actually in Oz. And that must have been amazing for her, even though I heard she was treated badly during the movie filming. But other than that, yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to see how some of the special effects were done, like the house falling towards you was actually they made the ground look like the sky and they dropped the house towards it in slow motion and then they played it back in reverse. And some of the stuff about how they did the tornado is like a stocking with chicken wire that was super huge. And they filmed that and then they did rear projection of that. And Judy Garland's on a fence thing behind a screen that was showing that.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. So
Yeah.
The techniques were amazing for what
Phenomenal.
they did. You look at it and you look at it and you think, wow, today with CGI they could do that so much better. And then you stop, you go, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
This looks good the way it is.
yeah,
And
it
that
is.
too, as I was I watched it today, and then you're watching the how they did they fused the a painted backdrop with the scenery that they had in the studio, and it looks so cool. It looks like a magical place that's not really part of reality, but it's this and that aesthetic just looks awesome, man. It really does.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Another technical note, if you guys want to know, is the scene where they go from black and white to color. That wasn't a camera trick. They had everything inside, the sepia tone, and they had a stunt actress, a different actress, with sepia tone outfit and stuff. And so she opened the door, and then when she went out of frame, she handed Toto to Dorothy, which is in her blue, and then she walks forward out into the color.
Wait a second. Does that mean Dorothy in the beginning and the end wasn't Judy Garland?
No, it was Judy Garland all the way through, except there's one moment when there's somebody that isn't Judy Garland, and all you see is the back of her head.
A body double.
Yeah, just for
Yeah,
one
body
moment
double.
to do that one shot. Yeah,
Wow.
like a stunt actor almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
yeah, so much.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
Clint,
Thank you all for putting up with me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
thank you for watching at the dead of night. I'm kidding, it's not that late. But well,
It is for you. It's the next day for you after midnight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Clint,
I still love,
appreciated your narrative.
One of the best things that I think, one of the best jokes at least that we got out of here is remember when we were talking about Jaws, and then it was how many people die from dog attacks in the States versus in Canada? Remember
What?
that?
Yeah.
I was not
really
here
nice
for
dogs
that.
up in Canada, apparently.
Yeah, that's a Jaws thing. We'll have to go back and watch that table read.
I
Yeah,
do
go
have a
watch that one. That was
question
awesome
for-
too, guys.
Yeah, go ahead,
I do
Heather.
have a question for you, Clint. That narrative you gave at the beginning, what inspired you to do that?
Just watching about it and I mean, there is that story that out of real pain comes beauty, and this is something that has transcended everything. And there was a lot of pain going on at the time. Not only a lot of pain going on at the time, but as V pointed out, there's a lot of pain going into making this movie. I mean, there's a lot of messed up stuff that happened during the creation of this. But yet it still like it created this story that is just so beautiful that can connect with so many people outside of that and transcends, time and place and, and it's just really beautiful,
And to add to that, the character Dorothy, her name comes from the book writer's niece, like a baby niece that died. And so he named the girl after, the niece that his wife loved and he loved so much. Sorry, I don't want to
really
again do a dumb. I know we talk about all this. Okay, happy thoughts.
yeah, for sure. It's just a beautiful story, man. It really is. It's a story of kind of the down and out that band together and go on this magical journey of self-discovery and then come out much better people.
Yeah,
and
like
love together.
So at first, Dorothy wasn't really thankful for what she had, and she thought, she didn't fit in, but then she found other people in Oz who didn't fit in, and they're like a gang of misfits.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah. And then they all came and hung out at Table Read Tuesdays, right? And put on a masterpiece.
A gang of misfits.
And actually, when Oz gave them the stuff that they wanted, they actually had it all along because, one, the Scarecrow couldn't have helped Dorothy and all that without a brain. The Tin Man couldn't have loved or felt bad for killing the bee without a heart. And the Lion couldn't have been, he was brave. My brain just died there.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. I didn't expect that I would have had to give Chance a kiss in this whole thing, but that happened,
Oh yeah.
You can't make it unhappen, Chance.
Right.
That's kind of sus.
So much fun. All right. On that, I guess we'll go around and we'll start maybe saying why you love Wizard of Oz and then what you do and how people can find you if you want them to find you. So again, I'll go in the order of my gallery view here. And so first is Don.
Okay, well, I'm Don Lampasone. And like I always say at these things, you can find me at myname.com. And really, I'm just having fun doing this. I mean, it helps. I think it really helps you learn to write when you read these screenplays. And so I am bad at that, reading them myself. And I love to do the voice things. So it's really been fun for me. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome. And it's been great to have you here doing both, helping us out doing the action description reading and then all the acting parts, your Uncle Henry with the country accent and and everything.
Thanks.
And
That's
it
great.
even worked talking to yourself there. Jacob mentioned it and I was like, what do you mean? Oh, he is.
Fun.
It was really good.
Yeah, because we tried to cast them separate from each other, but then you were doing both.
Yeah.
And it worked out. It was good. And Vicki. The Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes. I have always wanted to be the Wicked Witch of the West, and I didn't think it was ever going to happen.
You did great.
So, yeah, this was a miracle, really. I mean, how often do you see a stage production of this show? That's where I thought I would get to do it, and hey, you made a dream come true.
Or the goddess Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, hail the Wicked Witch.
Yes.
Well, you
My
did it.
family knows I'm the Wicked Witch of the West now.
It was an honor to melt you.
Yeah.
And I would just love to do voiceover. This is really the theater bug that bites you. This has bitten me, and I would just love to do voiceover.
Yeah, that's great. Anyone that is watching this in the future, if you guys consider all these people to hire them for any of those acting and voice acting roles. So, all right, and with that, V, please continue.
Sorry. Okay. The Wizard of Oz is a good, colorful story, and it has some funny stuff and music. I love musicals because music is great, and the characters all have flaws that they think make them not good enough, but they are good enough. And also, about the social media things finding me, I have a cringy YouTube channel called Beep37, but please don't watch it because I'm probably going to reboot the channel as something else.
All right. Even though you have way, way, way more followers on your channel than I have. You have almost 1,000, right?
Yeah, but I don't know why. The cringe in those videos is immeasurable.
I wouldn't say. Roughly how many videos do you have on there?
Like, my first video was in 2017 when I was 9, but it's of My Little Pony, so I don't really...
But you also have like hundreds of videos though too, right?
Yeah, but I don't really want to continue my legacy to be My Little Pony and Unikitty related.
No, Dorothy has brought you to another level to do these magical movies.
Yes.
And so
Still something to be proud of, even if it's something you move on from. That is
absolutely, 100%. All right, and then I'm talking about moving on. Angelina, you're next.
Oh, me. Hi. You can find me on Facebook with Your Adored Life is my business, where I record people's beautiful stories, their life stories, and make them into documentaries.
Awesome.
And this was just so much fun. I feel like it's getting more and more fun each time we go. So I think V, you're the newest of our group here. Hope you come back.
And are the youngest ever.
Yes.
Yes. Wait, really?
Yeah.
So far.
Wow. I have made history.
You have.
And Chance.
I enjoyed it. I liked the movie. And for all the reasons that have been mentioned this evening, the history of it and the uniqueness of it, and just enjoyed the reading and look forward to more of them. And I thought all you guys did a great job. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
And you did a great Cowardly Lion. That was fun. That's fun.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Put 'em up.
I know my time is up. Like I was so impressed with every single person. It was just like, so may I say, what a great job we did casting.
Yeah.
But no, really, you guys all stepped up. You did fantastic. Really proud of
you.
us.
You did too.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next we have Andy.
Oh, you skip Andy. No, I really enjoyed this. It was fun doing a variety of parts. I haven't done that before, really, and that was neat trying to look through all that. And I've enjoyed this experience in general. I'll keep looking you up. I am hoping to get a little busier, so I may have less and less time available, but I'll still try to work it in. So I really enjoy it. The perspective is different. It gives me a really different look in at how things work. I've always only done stage stuff myself. I will say I really love musicals. I enjoy being in them a lot, but I also enjoy the absurdity of the American musical. When I tell people this, where else do you find a group of cowboys and farmhands breaking into an 8-part chorus to end the show? So that's Oklahoma, if you don't recognize it. So no, it's just a lot of fun. I enjoy these sessions. It's lots of fun working on them. Thank you very much.
And if you guys like musicals, you guys should watch The Greatest Showman. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, visually beautiful movie. That one too, they also have different things they say about the real Barnum in the movie character itself, but it's an awesome movie.
Just
awesome.
don't look up things about P.T. Barnum. He kind of not the best. Best
and again, Andy talking about behind the scenes, like a lot of the ones we've done so far, these older classic movies, the one next week, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, is a newer movie. So we'll see how that script looks and if it looks very different or not. And that one also has a lot of musical elements to that movie as well. But next, right now, we have The Great and Powerful Oz.
Yes.
Hey guys, thank you so much again. My name is Clint Monroe. You can find me on Instagram at Gems of Zen Productions, and on Facebook you can find me as Clint Monroe. It's a little picture of my dog on a surfboard because he is a surfer dog. Anyways, so much fun, man. When I was told that I was cast as, Professor Marvel and Oz, I mean, like, it's kind of like everything I ever really want to do in life, I mean, he kind of like sees this wayward lady and is like, all right, dude, like, I'm just gonna push you out the door a little bit to get you to go on your trip, right? And then as he comes back as Oz, right, like, he's the guy that can see through, whatever these perceived insecurities are and realize that you're awesome just the way that you are, right? And like gives these people this like sets them on this journey. Like that's what he does later when they first meet Oz, is he sets them up to go on the trip to fight the Wicked Witch, in which they can all recognize their true inner beauty and strength. And that was awesome. I'm so happy that I got to be that guy. And then, I did my best Munchkin voice, too. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. But anyways, again, thank you so much for the opportunity, and look forward to hearing from you guys.
Will do. And next, Auntie M.
Hi.
I
My
think your
name-
best role yet. Sorry.
Hi, my name's Heather Leigh Cameron, and yes, I did play Auntie M and some other wonderful individuals in the Land of Oz. And I like The Wizard of Oz because it teaches you to appreciate what you have and can do and can be, and it teaches you not to grieve and obsess over what you can't do and don't have. And I suppose I've had to teach myself this lesson because in 2017, after a lot of struggles, I got diagnosed with a condition called endometriosis. And I'm sure some of you know what that is, and some of you may not know what that is, but it affects your ability to produce children. And that door may be closed to me and it's also taught me to appreciate and seek out opportunities to develop other talents and open other doors for myself. So I appreciate any opportunities I can to develop my talents in the creative arts. And so I'm very happy to be here. You can find me on my YouTube channel, The Storm and Latter-day Saint, or Heather Leigh Cameron, creative artist, or on Actors Access, or on IMDb, or on Heather Leigh Cameron on Instagram, or you can just email me at heather.leigh.cameron@gmail.com. I'm very, very appreciative for the opportunities to be able to develop my talents, and I'm definitely looking for work. Because I'm definitely looking for other ways to contribute to the world, given my situation. And so please hire me.
All right. Well, we're very sorry to hear that challenge you're going through, and, happy that the film helps you find like strength and everything.
Yeah, you go, Queen.
Yeah.
I like you. I hope you come back. I like you a lot.
Thank you.
He's awesome. And next we do have Toni.
Hello. Thank you again for bringing me in, allowing me to take part in this really fun weekly adventure with you all. Yeah, I love Wizard of Oz, just from a story, just a story point of view. And, as a little kid watching it, growing up and seeing it again years and years and decades later, it's a fun story, and it's got good messages. And I think as you guys pointed out, there are other things behind the scenes that you don't get to see. So it's very layered and very complex. So love that. Anyways, you can find me on Facebook, Toni Flora. Starting to film this weekend finally, after months and months and months of waiting and prepping. And
You're in a movie?
a series, a little web series that we're doing. It's a corny kind of spoofy 1930s ish space adventure.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give away much. I don't know that I can yet, but it's going to be a blast. So yeah, anybody around Arizona, Mojave Valley area, Las Vegas going down, California, if you're looking for a drive for 5 hours, we have a couple of roles left available. So get in touch with me on Facebook, and I can send you the information to reach out to the director out there. So it's a fun little show.
Wow.
So there's that.
Yeah.
I'm far, but I'm portable.
Yes,
I'm a dual citizen.
if you want to do voices, just go ahead and record over. Yeah, you can do voices too. There are a couple of voiceover roles, but they're small. They're like a few lines.
Exciting.
Let's do it, Ao.
You know what? There are no small roles.
As we have found with lots of these table reads, people have smaller parts or fewer parts, and they rock them.
Yeah,
So.
yep.
Do you know
And-
what would be like the sweetest ending right now is if Toni just like if became the only screen and then just turned and walked off into the distance.
Follow the
No,
yellow
we
brick
can't do
road.
that. We like Toni.
Follow the
Most
yellow brick
appropriate
road.
ending.
Oh yes,
Can
I
you make
have
it out of a cop
I have the
engine?
road.
Oh,
But the time has come for us to end this journey in the land of Oz and return back to
I
the
can't
no
see
place
it.
like home.
Oh,
So-
yes.
So thank you everybody for sharing this journey and adventure with
Yeah.
us.
Yes.
And
We appreciate you all for watching us, and we appreciate all of you for playing with us today.
yes, and your brains and your hearts and your courage.
Yes,
So-
I tried my best here. Hopefully I did
well
good.
played,
You
man.
did. Absolutely.
I do have a quote about courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the realization that something is more important than fear. And I believe that's from the Princess Diaries. I don't know if it's exact, but I got it as close as I could.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Good quote.
Awesome.
All right, everyone. Have a wonderful
Bye.
week.
Yeah,
All right.
bye.
I can see you soon.